Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brew-Built X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brew-Built Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brew-Built line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brew-Built X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brew-Built Conicals. You can trust Brew-Built with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brew-Built at morebeer.com.
Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
Great beer is about drinkability. Doesn't matter the style.
You guys are like walking beer Wikipedia. That's the first time that you've ever accepted me as a person.
Or you have a fermentation in your gut.
I'm
jet propelled at all times.
How many guys do you think that you have the privilege to slap?
Somebody who's never tasted a commercial example, and this is how you know everything about this beer? Please, you don't.
I think that's bullshit.
I think it's bullshit too.
Wow. Are you guys going to arm wrestle?
No. We're going to teabag fight.
Yeah. You heard of Junkyard Wars?
Can I get another high five, Beavis?
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Hey, everybody, it's The Session. Welcome to the greatest. I was turning the wrong fader down, man. I'm out of it, dude.
Still the greatest.
Still the greatest, baby. We haven't changed since day one. We still have no idea how to work the control board, all that good stuff.
It's good to be consistent.
Yes, that is good to be consistent.
Right.
Otherwise, people. Well, the king of waffles.
They might have expectations.
The king of waffles.
We used to get called waffling by that Australian, New Zealand guy or whatever.
Oh.
I think he's a British guy. Anyway, whatever. I don't know. It's a throwback joke, Warren. Before your time.
Before I started listening from the beginning?
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody, to the almighty session. We have a great show for you guys today. We are going to be speaking with Luke from Streetside Brewery out of Cincinnati. I'm reading their press release, and it says that the thing is in Columbus, so I read the wrong. I'm like scanning for the C, and
the other city in Ohio?
Yeah, well, there's only 2. Everything else is just flat and farmland, right?
Right, I think so.
No, but they haven't been around too long, man, but they're already winning a bunch of awards. Apparently, like one of the beers we're going to try is a Berliner Weiss with raspberries. And it won cleaned up at the 2016 Ohio Craft Beer Festival in Columbus, which is, I'm reading the thing, and so I got confused in the thing.
Right.
But it's called the King of Ohio competition. So I'm excited to talk to them about that. And,
So we have that beer here?
We have that beer here, yes, that's correct. That is correct, my friend. So we're doing that. We got a little bit of feedback. Apparently, Kim Shimke is here in the studio live.
You can keep letting her in.
Is the feedback about her?
It should be.
God, I hope not.
I think what we should do is we should have a Kim Shimke appreciation minute. It's kind of like a mini Thanksgiving. Where we just go around the room and appreciate Kim for 1 minute.
This feels like a trap.
Yeah, it's something that sounds like you might want it, but once it's happening, you definitely don't.
No, that's true. That's true.
But
I think that'd be nice. It's in the Thanksgiving spirit.
Right. We could say what we're thankful for.
It feels out of character
Kim.
for you all.
Wow.
Just wait.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to put it on the agenda.
Right.
Kim, how do you spell appreciation? I'll put app.
I don't know. Yeah.
Kim Appman. Kim Appman. And then in about 2 hours, I'm like, Bevo, who the fuck is Kim Appman? And why do I not have her contact information? No one tells me anything.
Is she on the phone?
Yeah, I got to Skype her or something.
Yeah. You got to give me at least a minute to come up with what I'm going to say for my part of that minute.
That's true. I mean, that is well within the game, the rules,
right,
my friend.
Yeah, a preparation minute for appreciation.
Yeah.
I'm ready right now.
Uh-oh. Anyway, thank you to our show sponsor, of course, More Beer. And you can get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com, or, cider or wine or coffee roasting or all of that kind of fun stuff. They have a bunch of stuff there. I was actually there this weekend picking up coffee roasting supplies, which is mainly coffee beans.
If you have the roaster, what else is there?
Exactly right. I have the roaster, and I'm like, well, that's the only supplies I need, man.
Didn't they have a sale this weekend? Like a store sale or something?
I think that they did. I think, I don't really know.
Well, for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, do they have a Cyber Monday?
I got cyber beans. You can plant them, and a whole server farm grows up.
You just store them in your computer, and it tells you what they taste like?
You can do that, too, yeah. For sure. No, we're doing this thing where, basically we're making half-calf, coffee at home now. We just roast normal caffeinated beans, and then you roast decaffeinated beans, and you mix them together. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, okay.
Why? So you can drink coffee before going to bed?
Well, I did that last night. I had my first cup of, legitimate decaf coffee last night. So we had Thanksgiving at Taryn's cousin's house for the first time, which kind of breaks the tradition that we have of going to her aunt and uncle's house. Anyway, boring story. But there was a ton of people there and, no food. She got, 3 slices of ham for leftovers. And I'm like, well, this is stupid. I want leftovers. The part of the benefit in America, folks, for those of you who don't know, Thanksgiving is not really about celebrating it with your family so much as taking home leftovers as your reward for braving your family and all the, you like that? Okay, yeah, that's really great. Oh, yeah.
Right. Enjoying a nice meal without your family the next day is what Thanksgiving's about.
Yeah, right. And poor Taryn, because she's pregnant, she's 23 weeks or whatever, and everyone's going, oh, wow, you're getting so big. And she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Stop telling me this.
Were people feeling her belly?
I don't know. I left her alone because I've been in a car with her for an hour and a half. I didn't want to leave. But I'm just kidding. But yeah, we got no food. We got no leftovers except for a little piece of ham. And so we just made our own. We did our own Thanksgiving on Sunday night. There you go. We went to the store and you can buy pre-cooked turkey breast, just the whole cut off the arms and the legs and whatever and the neck and
so where does decaf coffee fit
for pie?
Well, yeah, regular coffee works for that also.
Well, but look, she has to go to work in the morning. She didn't want to stay up late at night, and I just in solidarity was like, okay, I'll have some decaf coffee because I already have it roasted and you got to grind it. It's a whole thing. But
that makes sense. Make it your own blend.
Yeah,
just enough decaf to so you can't.
Can you taste the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can. Decaf coffee is watery. It's just a little watery. It's kind of like mud. It's like dirt water. It's not even mud. It's dirt. Mud would imply that there's a texture and a viscosity and a whatever. Yeah,
it's like pond water.
It's like dirty water, and even more so because at least with caffeine, you go, okay, well, at least something's happening. Right. At least I'm generating some sort of thing in my body. But no, it's just here's hot dirt water.
Well, it sounds like that would pair nicely with pie.
The pie was kind of trash, too. Oh, okay. But the turkey breast was roasted already. Or not roasted, smoked.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of nice.
When you become a parent, people come to you. So you'll probably be hosting next year.
We're going to be doing, probably. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Then you'll have all the food. You can even hide some.
Well, at her cousin's, dude, people bring extra turkeys to just deep fry, so everyone has leftovers because that's the kind of family they are. Apparently not on the other side. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's normal.
That's normal.
What it was. That wasn't this year.
No. This year was okay, here, have a bunch of corn. They forgot to bring out the corn, so they're trying to give away fucking freezer bags full of corn. And I'm like, first of all, it's just canned. It's not like it's special corn. Second of all, no.
But you could have twice warmed canned corn.
Yeah, everybody wants that, man. Anyway, the point of the story is get all your coffee roasting supplies at More Beer.
Right.
Nice segue.
Caffeinated and decaffeinated.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great
Buddy
time.
and not buddy.
Yeah, if you like pond water.
It was weird, man. I mean, look, the quality of the coffee is good, but just decaf inherently in general, to me, just kind of tastes like mud, like dirt water.
Yeah.
Because there's no body.
How do they decaf green beans? Raw beans?
They do either a Swiss water process, where I forget what that means, or there's a chemical that they soak and it actually just bonds to the caffeine and pulls it out. Oh. And then they can separate that caffeine and then sell it to like Coca-Cola.
Right, yeah.
Or
it ends
any
up in
sort
Red Bull.
Yeah, no, it does. It ends up in like caffeinated drinks and all that kind of stuff, yeah. Pretty interesting, don't you think?
Then they use muddy water?
Then it's just muddy water, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't taste any better in a Red Bull either.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Kim, what are you doing here today?
I was bored.
You're bored?
You know, you guys are my backups.
What fell through? Because you came in looking like Dave Chappelle when he was trying to be Prince. Because he had the velour jacket on or whatever.
The velvet jacket
yeah.
in aubergine, not purple.
What is aubergine?
What?
It's an important distinction.
In Scotland, right?
It's like eggplant. It's a fancy word for purple.
Oh. Okay.
Although my couch, which is also the same color, Macy's called it jelly bean.
Jelly bean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Do you wear that jacket sitting on your couch and blend in?
To hide?
Like camouflage?
No, I just look extra classy having aubergine on top of the jelly bean.
I think you sound classy when you say aubergine, but then you put the jacket on and people are like, oh, you're just wearing a couch.
That's a damn nice jacket. Let's be real.
I try to put it on. I can't.
You're too broad.
Yeah, like my frame and Kim's frame are definitely not equals.
Huh.
Let's put it that way. I felt very fat.
Well,
I wouldn't have guessed had you not tried on the jacket.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm short.
Are you honestly, you're just here and hang out? Because I just want to make sure that I don't have to do anything.
We keep saying, like, it's been established I'm coming in once a month, and you keep being surprised by this.
I think she misses us.
I think she misses us.
That's
too.
You guys
back
already
here.
know that. I'm the one that's trying to make us BFFs.
Did she
keep
bring us
trying.
anything this week? Do we
No,
have to
she
eat?
doesn't bring. No, I hope not.
I felt like it wasn't appreciated. So.
Actually, you know what? Okay, from now on,
Don't
whenever
bring
you
anything?
whenever you come in, I want you to bring a food item
An offering.
of your choice. Yeah, an offering to the gods, please. Yeah.
You know what? I actually would. Would you eat it?
Well, I don't know. I can't promise that, but you need to at least bring a... Yes, how about that? You bring it in, and we will all at least promise to think about trying it.
Okay,
Well,
you guys are like a charity case, so I can write it off whatever I purchase.
I think
Yeah,
we
will
have
do.
had to try everything you've brought in up until
true.
this point.
That's true. You're absolutely right.
I get very hurt if you don't.
Speaking of not being hurt, but hey, if you need a lawyer, go to the Beer Law Center. BeerLawCenter.com. John over there. John over there. I know for a fact has a pretty good thing going on right now, or at least a high profile case.
Oh.
I'm not going to say where I saw someone lift an entire image, not just the hop grenade, but like the whole just. Oh, here's a photo of the shirt that you sell. Why don't I just take that and sell it? So,
all right.
Yeah. Anyway, so he brings you feedback, and oh god, I was like, where did it go? And the tab's right here. Everyone, relax. This one piece of feedback. What happened to feedback? We were getting some feedback. We were going, baby.
Right.
We were going, and we got one piece.
Oh well.
And tons of spam.
Do people know where to send feedback?
Feedback at thebrewingnetwork.com. Apparently, Warren has an email address now, a Brewing Network email address.
Right. Apparently, it took this long, and so I every now and then would get a message on Facebook or some other form of social media or communication.
Yeah.
Mentioning, I emailed Beardy at thebrewingnetwork.com and never heard anything back. And I was like, well, yeah, actually.
Because you're an asshole.
Well,
So did
in
they just
addition
make it
to
up?
that, it didn't exist until about 2 weeks ago.
So they don't even know where they're sending it. They just
They
thought that it's Beardy at BrewingNetwork.com.
Well, I mean, JP has one, Tasty has one. There, other people. Doc
Man, they
probably
even
has
gave
one
one
that he
to
never
me
uses.
my first week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Warren.
Sorry, Warren.
That's fine. I mean, I've been happy not having to talk to people.
I think it's.
Oh, you don't get that many.
Oh, okay.
I think it's more of he didn't want to do the work until he knew that you were going to use it.
The work of typing in Beardy
And
Look,
at the Brewing Network.
have you seen how many cigarettes there are out in the world?
They won't
It's sweet
go
you're
smoke
rationalizing
themselves.
for Justin. It's sweet.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Where is Justin? He's in Europe or something, right?
Oh, is he?
I think
Already?
just left. Yeah.
Oh.
I left today, actually.
Huh. All right. Well, hey, man, God bless. Hopefully he brings us back some good beer.
He's not coming
They have
back.
good beer? Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
remember
they've
a couple
been
years
copying us
ago?
Americans.
Yeah, like a couple years ago, he brought back like a ton of beer, and we tried it on the air. Remember that? It was a good time, right?
Right, yeah.
Hopefully that happens. That would be great.
That could happen again.
I think that'd be amazing. Okay, here's the feedback. This is in response from that guy who wrote in about labeling the beer in his store by who owns it. You know, where
right,
it'll say like
yes.
Heineken instead of Lagunitas, right?
Right, yeah.
It says Justin and the crew, which maybe that includes Kim.
Probably not.
I don't know.
Today it can.
Once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah. Hearing my email read on your show was an honor. Wow. See, now this guy gets it. This guy is our
See?
guy.
No, yeah, everybody should write in to be honored.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
let us
keep
honor
reading.
you.
Keep reading.
If you read your letter, you're honored.
And to reply to JP and the others, no, I don't really think that changing our product tags will really matter all that much in terms of sales. We still have our diehard Goose Island drinkers, for example. However, one of you suggested it was for our own edification. You are correct. It's probably me because I like that word.
That sounds like you being right.
Yeah. We feel consumers should have honest, accurate information to make informed decisions. If we could, we'd make sure none of these brands would have a place on our shelves, but that's not the case. We do, however, place them in less than prime viewing locations in our refrigerator or sales racks way above or below eye level. That's kind of funny because usually these higher brands, everyone wants eye level on the shelf, right?
Yeah.
And these guys are just going, no, way up the top or way at the bottom. I think it's funny. One of our fridge doors is in full view of customers as they walk into our store. What do we put in it? Craft beer from our own state with 2 dedicated shelves for our 3 local breweries, 2 of which are in our town. It's our tacit endorsement of independent craft. Some interesting exceptions exist in the beer world, as you well know. We still enjoy carrying Victoria and Southern Tier, though they formed a holding company. We're also okay with Oscar Blues buying Cigar City. In these situations, it's akin to 2 Davids teaming up to take on Goliath and his high-end lackeys. Oh, this guy's passionate. One last thing. Alpha 03, that band that we were playing last show, was right to submit their single to you because of their faith in their music and you playing it on the air. I looked them up and bought their album. Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. Plus that dude, I forget his name now, but he was a longtime listener, too. So I like that, man. Listeners supporting listeners. He says, cheers, John Shoemaker. He says, P.S. regarding your conversation about rubbing it out to Bevo. When did we...
Oh.
That wasn't a conversation. That was... I forget now. That's probably Warren saying that. She either needs a big raise or some fresh towels or both. I don't know, man. I didn't write it, Bev. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah. I remember... At the end of the show one time recently, Justin was talking about that.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense.
That's all I remember about it.
Yeah, that's probably right. Anyway, that was brought to you by the Beer Law Center. Warren, do we have a Twitter game today, buddy?
Well, we would, but I can't remember the password to get into Twitter.
I'm sitting right next to you. Right.
Well, I can't ask for you to tell me
No,
it right
he
now.
doesn't
you could have
know.
shown me your screen.
Oh, well, fine. This might be why I haven't had a password or an email.
Yeah, because he knows you can't handle the responsibility.
I can't even log into something.
You can't deal with it, Warren.
Yeah. So we will when we get back.
Okay, we will.
Kim is... Oh, I think Kim even did it wrong just now.
No.
Huh?
Wow. You guys are
amazing. I might
amazing.
have the username wrong also.
Well, that's all right. I do want to tell you guys about Session Beers, the new book at Brewers Publications. Low alcohol session beers, they say, have taken the craft beer movement by storm. More than half of the fastest growing brands are beers with less than 5% ABV, If you're interested in honing your session beer brewing skills, there's a brand new book from the Brewers Publication that is a great addition to your brewery library. Session Beers, Brewing for Flavor and Balance. Session Beers is written by World Beer Cup and Great American Beer Festival award-winning brewer Jennifer Talley, who we've had on the show. Session Beers explore the history behind some of the world's greatest session beers, past and present, but not future. I'm disappointed in them. Learn how stouts, sour ales, experimental IPAs, and more of your favorite styles can be brewed to be less than 5% ABV. Yes, it's possible, everybody. Been
But will
preaching it
people like
forever. Sure, because you can do it without sacrificing taste or balance, Warren.
Great.
Session beers include popular recipes for professional and home brewers, along with personal stories from some of the best brewmasters in America. Learn more and order a copy of Session Beers at brewerspublication.com. All right, so you want to take a break, and then we'll come back and do...
We're locked in.
It took him a few tries,
It
but
took
we got it.
one.
We got it. It'll be back, or it'll be ready when
Bastard.
we get back.
Will it, though?
Maybe.
It's ready now.
Man, I'll tell you what, before we get to break, I've been researching, speaking of being frustrated, right?
Were we?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You guys, because you were frustrated about the
yes.
thing. Motherfucker, dude. Strollers.
Oh, and especially double wide.
Huh?
The double wide strollers. That take up more
they
room.
do have those, yeah.
For one kid? I'm only having one kid.
Oh,
Currently.
this is a personal.
Well, that's true. Yeah, no, I'm talking, like researching, like, to buy a stroller.
Yeah.
There are so many brands and so many different styles of stroller, yet the human frame has been the same for at least 20 years. Why? I don't understand. I got frustrated, man. We went to Babies R Us for
Why
the
don't you
first
just
time.
look at the highest rated on Amazon?
Because that's not always what I
You're
want.
at Disneyland all the time. Just go.
Yeah, you can test drive them.
Survey.
You can test drive them right there. Yeah.
Are those pneumatic tires?
Yeah. I thought about and then we go. So this is my personality, is where I go. Okay, well, we probably need two, because one for maximum comfort and then one for like Disneyland. Because I hate those people with the giant long stroller and like the big kicked out tires that looks like you basically live in Oakland and you slam your car but kick your tires way
With
out.
spinners.
Yeah. Oh man, I should get spinners on mine.
Do you mean the same stroller that carted around your crap?
Yeah.
The last time you were at Disneyland?
Hey, man, you know what? I don't like to... yes.
That's why people bring it. They can't walk. They use that for cargo purposes.
Yeah, and I don't know. It makes me mad. So I'm like, well, maybe I should get one of the umbrella strollers, like the small little things for the...
Right, travel.
And then I don't know. And then I get freaked out, and then I go, I just want to leave because it's too many fucking choices.
Yeah, you need
why? And like...
it's like buying a car. Sometimes you need a truck, sometimes you need an SUV, sometimes you want to, it's hard to do one thing with one piece of equipment.
Right. And then car seats. These things are like formed around heads where it's like you're going to be shot. You're going to shoot the baby into space. Where like they're just, and there's padding on either side. It's fucking intense.
Well, and then you can get car seats that are also strollers that you kind of like pop out of the frame.
Those are called travel...
Why are you looking at me?
Yeah,
I'm not looking at
carriers.
you. No, but they're called like travel sets or something like that. Like that. Yes. And now I don't care. Like I've already dealt with this with Chris. I just...
So you're not even interested in that?
I'm not interested in anything anymore.
Okay.
I just don't want to do it.
Just get a rebuilt shopping cart from Bubbles, throw a pillow in it,
and I'll be
and
fine.
call it good.
I don't know. I was just fucking frustrated, man. Just buy, and I never thought I'd be going into parking in the expectant mother's parking.
Oh yeah, you're not even a parent yet.
No. Well, it depends on who you talk to, I guess.
Are you baby-proofing your house? Like putting those little caps on the electric outlets?
No,
and all
our outlets have a thing where like you have to push in both prongs at the same time because it's like a I don't know, it's like proofed. Yeah.
What about sharp corners?
Oh, my shit's around
cabinets and all that shit.
My shit's around it. No, because look, I grew up, crawling on the floor and falling down and hitting my head on things, and I turned out just fine.
You want your kids to be a kinesthetic learner.
I'm too dumb to know what that means.
Yeah. Is that a brand of stroller? I'm not sure.
It's fine, huh?
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
T-minus 4 months?
March 24th.
That's right around the corner.
It is. Anyway, thanks for indulging me, everybody. I just, you got to get stuff out of your brain to kind of overcome. When we come back, we're going to hear from Warren and his, what I'm sure is going to be an amazing Twitter game. And then we're going to talk to Luke from Streetside Brewery. Hang on, we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Are you a member of the White Labs Customer Club? If not, you should be. It's the easiest way to earn free stuff for turning in your old homebrew labels from either Vials or Pure Pitch. All you have to do is save your labels and redeem them for things like free yeast, an exclusive White Labs t-shirt or sweatshirt, and even the opportunity to brew with the yeast man himself, Chris White. Signing up is easy. Just go to whitelabs.com/customer club, fill out the registration form, and then mail in your labels. They will return the favor by sending you awesome White Labs swag. Go sign up today at whitelabs.com/customer club. White Labs, pure yeast and fermentation since 1995.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Brewing great beer is a process of continuous learning, and the best books on every aspect of brewing can be found at Brewers Publications, with more than 50 awesome titles like Modern Homebrew Recipes by Gordon Strong, Designing Great Beers, the Ultimate Guide to Brewing Classic Beer Styles by Ray Daniels, American Sour Beers, Innovative Techniques for Mixed Fermentations by Michael Tonsmeyer, For the Love of Hops, The Practical Guide to Aroma, Bitterness, and the Culture of Hops by Stan Hieronymus, and Radical Brewing, Recipes, Tales, and World-Altering Meditations in a Glass by Randy Mosher, plus many, many more. These are the books and the authors with the knowledge to push your brewing farther than you thought possible. And you'll find them all at fine homebrew and book retailers everywhere. And visit the website at brewerspublications.com. Brewers Publications, all the best on beer and brewing.
Marin Brewing Company in Northern California has been making award-winning beers for more than 25 freaking years. Today, I want to tell you about their new 12-ounce cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale. The good stuff, Mount Tam is bright gold, 5.5% ABV to keep you feeling good, and has been winning awards since 1989. If you're visiting the Bay Area, get your butt out to Marin Brewing Company. They pour tasty beers and serve great food every day until midnight. Come in for a tour, stay for the food, and pick up a 6-pack of cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale to enjoy at home, camping, biking, or whatever the hell you do. Owner Brendan Moylan has this to say about Marin Brewing beers.
It's freaking awesome.
Marin Brewing has won more than 100 gold medals in international competitions. Check out marinbrewing.com for all their award-winning beers, food, and merch. Marin Brewing Company in Larkspur, California. Award-winning taste, refreshing finish. It's freaking awesome.
This is Corey King from Side Project Brewing, and you're listening to The Session on the Brewing Network.
There's murder all around you, on the streets and in the sky.
Welcome back, everybody. It's The Session. We're still here. Just throwing Bev under the bus to herself, and I'm all right.
Well, and now to everybody else.
Yeah. She ghost rides. She drives the bus and then gets out and lays underneath it.
She must be a fast runner to get out in front of it.
Buses don't go very fast.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Warren.
Yes.
Do we have a Twitter game?
Sure.
All right. What's the Twitter game?
The Twitter game is regarding holiday beer, since we're kind of right in the middle of the holidays.
Oh, it's fucking on right now.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
At least personally, it seems like we've finally reached the point where pumpkin beers are a thing of the past in terms of a seasonal holiday beer.
Okay. You think so?
Well, I'm just saying I made it through up until now without actually having seen one on the shelf or
Same for
anywhere.
Me. I'm not looking for them, but I see a lot of tap lists, and I've never seen one yet.
Yeah, usually it's just inundated where it's like, okay, you can't even avert your eyes and you see 3 of them.
Right.
But this year, I didn't even notice one. So
Okay.
I'm wondering what is going to be the next holiday beer.
What's the
That's
next
going to
holiday
be-
beer trend? Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right. Hit us up on the old Twitter, bros.
And will we like it?
Well, I can tell you no.
Oh, okay.
Probably not.
The better answers would be beers we won't like. So
Right, yeah.
It'll go the way of the...
We don't have to like it.
It seems like that's what beer trends are now, is beers that I don't like. Beers that we don't like. Like, when is the black mild trend going to happen? Or when's the pale ale that's an actual pale ale trend going to happen? I guess that happened in the 90s.
Yeah,
but.
the black mild trend, I think, was in 1780.
Let's go back. Man, they just don't make them like they used to. You know what I mean?
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah, so... I mean, we're just too cool for all the hip new trends, I guess.
I guess so. I've never been accused of being too cool for something, so I appreciate you telling me that. Yeah, I don't know, man. Beer trends are weird. I mean, right now it's the sour trend, but who knows? Well, I guess the hazy. I don't know. What is the most trendy beer right now?
Kettle sours and hazy.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Fruited beers. Seems like,
but it seems like those never go away, right? They just kind of.
Yeah, but fruited like IPAs and stuff are sort of like.
Well, let's ask our guest. Luke from Streetside Brewery is on with us. Luke, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing, man?
You doing yourselves?
Perfect. Hey, we were just right in the middle of the most important conversation we've ever had in our entire lives. What's the most trendy beer that you guys see out there in Ohio right now?
I would say the biggest one right now is probably New England IPAs for sure.
That's the most. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I get that. I mean, sour beers are trendy doesn't have to be bad. Of course, I love sour beers, so I'm excited. I guess to see the sour beer trend kind of cresting and whatever. But yeah, you're probably right. The hazy beers. Now, you guys brew a couple of hazy beers, right? That IPA.
Yeah, we do we do a few of them. I mean, it started off as like a really fun thing to do, but now that everyone's kind of doing it, I was just like, well, this isn't as cool as it used to be now.
Yeah, well, and that's how trends die, I guess, right? You know, it's like when I was a kid, it was cuffing your pants and then putting safety pins up on the seam.
That still?
I don't know if anybody does that anymore, but I'm like, man, this is a pain in the ass, and then it died out. I mean, this is 20 years ago.
I never even heard of that.
Really? Oh, no. Dude. I was living in the future at that point. I was like, no one's doing this.
I must have been wearing Dockers then or something.
With a belt tucked in and the whole thing.
Exactly.
Anyway, Luke, thanks for joining us, man. I know we have some beers from you to get to probably in the next break, but we might break into them later on in this break. Who knows? Or in this segment, who knows? But do me a favor and tell me how you kind of got into brewing in general, and then how you landed at Streetside.
Okay, yeah, I mean, starting off, I did hospitality management at the University of Cincinnati, and so I was doing hotels, and I wanted to get into the food and beverage industry, and so I thought like the best way to kind of get in was to do my sister-owned certification, and I thought I could kind of like jump ahead of people, go straight to management, So doing the sister, I learned that you actually have to know how to brew beer, and so not knowing how to brew and being more of a hands-on guy, I decided I'd start homebrewing just to kind of teach myself. And then just as the story goes for everyone, after my first beer or my first brew, I fell in love with it. And then after that, it just became an obsession. Going forward, it was about 6 months into homebrewing is where I got my big kick. It was I entered a competition for a key lime goza. And it was a competition, about 350 entrants, and I entered one beer, and I took best of show, which was pretty cool.
Wow. A key lime goza.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was just old school, goza, sea salt, coriander, and then last 10 minutes of the boil, I put key lime zest into it.
Wow.
So it came out like a nice margarita flavored beer.
Yeah, that could be good.
That sounds pretty good, man. And so to be a cicerone, you have to know how to brew. Like you have to have done it before, or you thought that was just kind of the best way to learn is just to actually do it.
Yeah. I mean, bad phrasing, my path. More just a sense that just know how like ingredients and how you make like mash and wort and how brewing happened. Yeah, so I was just, for me, reading a book, I wasn't really going to get that easily. So I thought just going down to the homebrew store, doing an extract kit, I'd do it. And I was like, you know what? I want to do all grain. This isn't fun. It's just like cheating, it feels like.
Yeah, man. And I can't imagine just reading how to brew and then not doing it, or like that's how you get enough out of the the hobby or whatever is just absorbing it through the book and never actually doing it, because the reading is boring in general, but actually doing it, actually making beer, that's where the fun is. And I think good on you, man, for getting in and just learning hands on.
Yeah, it was. It was a fun experience though, But yeah, back to the story. After that, I met a guy from a brewery. The brewery's called Mount Carmel. It's the oldest brewery in Cincinnati. It started in 2005, they basically just brought me in at maybe 11 months of home brewing, and then they brought me on to brew as the assistant. And then from there, I brewed for about 14 months. In the same sense, I was still homebrewing maybe 2-3 times a week, doing a lot of like carboy sours and everything like that. That's how I could keep up with all the beers. And then the Streetside, it was just by luck. I knew his name's Garrett Hickey. I knew his sister through high school and a little bit in college, and she had told me that his family was looking into opening a brewery.
Oh, wow.
And so Garrett and I kind of got into contact, and he was working at another brewery in town, and they broke a press release and everything. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually really happening. Because people are like, oh, we're going to do this, and nothing really happens. But it happened, and he came over once, and we just homebrewed a beer together, tried some of my beers on tap, and then we were just talking, and he was like, yeah, I'm not really sure who I want to hire. And I was like, well, what about me? And he's like, all right, man, you got the job. That's how I got the job.
Nice.
Yeah, so it worked out pretty nicely. So I've been there for about 1 year and 3 months. We're only 1 year and 1 month old. So I started last year in August.
That's pretty good, man. 1 year and 1 month old.
Yeah.
Wow.
So August 7th, 2016 is when we opened. And yeah, we just had our 1 year anniversary September 30th, so a couple months ago. And then, so everything's been smooth sailing so far.
It looks like it. I was looking at your website, and it had all the locations around in the Cincinnati area that you have your beer. It was like a lot of places. You have a lot of accounts.
You guys are everywhere.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about that, too, because in the very beginning, we stayed away from doing much distribution. So it was probably until month 6 is when we actually started putting kegs out.
Okay.
And it was really small. And I think... And to me, I'm pretty proud about this one, but roughly like 80% of all of our sales were done in-house. And for our size, we only did about 550 barrels for our first year. Mm-hmm. So, not a lot, but majority was in-house. So we're pretty proud about that. And now we're looking at hopefully hitting 1,000 to 1,500 this next year. And now we're just really exploding everywhere. Our beers are pretty well received. So we're pretty stoked about that.
Yeah. Well,
that's great.
Must be good beer.
Well,
it's not bad. It's not bad. Luckily, Vivo was nice enough to get me on. So,
well, we're going to find out here soon, Luke. And it's really just a California versus Ohio show. That's what it is. So we're going to judge the entire state based on your beers
and you as a person.
And you as a person. Thank you, Warren.
Yeah.
Thank you for adding that very important caveat. Yeah, because if they're terrible, we're going to trip you at GABF, and you're going to drop your glass. And everyone's going to go, whoa.
There's some good brews out here, so there's a lot riding on me.
That's true, man. So when you guys opened up, the community, I imagine, was receiving you very well, and people were positive about everything. How's the community involvement been in getting you guys to where you are?
Really good. I would say starting off the bat, we kind of came out with a little bit of different beers. We didn't start off with like Nut Brown, Stout, IPA. We actually our first beer was a kettle sour, which was actually my first time ever professionally doing one, and that was it's called Raspberry Beret. And that beer actually got us a King of Ohio award. So actually, I think you talked about this briefly beforehand. But yeah, so it was just pretty much out of like 70 breweries in Ohio, and it was a session beer competition. And so we took first place in sour category, and then we took best of show out of everyone. And so that was kind of some nice little hype for us because we were just 24 hours open.
Yeah, dude.
That's excellent. Wow, that's amazing.
You were open for one day, and you got, let's see, what was it again? The best sour and best of show at the King of Ohio competition in 2016.
Yeah, so that was pretty surreal for Garrett and myself. Just, because to be honest with you, he had done kettle sours prior at his old job. But on our new system that Streetside has, we actually have to do in our mash tun. So we were really freaked out because we thought, all that grain that was in there prior, if our cleaning techniques weren't proper, it would probably, we thought it would go butyric and we'd have to dump it. And we were really sweating bullets. Like, that was a legitimate 24-hour brew day. We were just there all day, feeding it CO2, just freaking out. And it turned out really well. So that's probably one of our most popular beers that we brew. We try to keep that during the spring, summertime because it's just a really big raspberry, cup of juice, basically, with a nice tartness. And we like to kind of it doesn't get too popular.
Yeah, it sounds good. I think we have. Do we have some of that?
Sadly, you don't. So what happened was the first box we sent out through FedEx that had the original bottle in it. And then FedEx said they lost the box. And it turned out they said the slip fell off the box. So unfortunately, when I was about to fill up the second box, it ran out. So, fortunately, I don't have that. I sent out our key lime pie goza, though, instead, which I think you guys are really liking, Jed.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I'm glad that you explained fully what happened because, heads were rolling here. Yeah. We're like, who stole the beer? What happened? Who's going to die?
FedEx stole the beer.
Yeah, I was pretty mad myself. I was pretty embarrassed. Like, man, this opportunity never happens. And of course, this one time I shipped beer out of the thousands of times we traded. This happens, right?
Right, exactly, right. Yeah. Did they send the beer back to you at least, or some lucky FedEx drivers just pounding them?
Yeah, I mean, dude, FedEx is good, but they're like, yeah, we have no idea what to start opening boxes. We're like, okay, that's fine. Just find the box, please. But then we just said, screw it. We'll just ship a new one. So, I guess.
So next time, put a dick pic on the box. That way you can say, "Oh, mine's one with a dick on it."
Yeah, because there's only one of those floating through the mail.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that would be amazing. So you said there's about 70 breweries in Ohio.
Oh, no, there's way more than that. In Greater Cincinnati, there's about to be 46. It's exploding right now in the Cincinnati area. I think in Ohio, don't quote me, it's high 100s, almost 200.
Yeah, I guess, honestly, Luke, thinking about my question, it was pretty stupid because Ohio's a pretty big place. And I'm like, 70 breweries, that seems kind of light. But, what do I know? There's 800 in California, in 1 square mile in California. So what do I know about anything? But how's
Cincinnati for sure.
Yeah, do you guys find that competition creep kind of coming in or taking your tap handles, or are there enough bars and people kind of interested in the craft scene out there to really support it?
I would say that's the beauty about Cincinnati right now. They're really big into supporting local, which is really nice. So, I mean, yeah, sure, like when Devil's Backbone came in, or I guess Cigar City's about to come in, I'm sure we'll definitely lose. Not us in general, but just to a craft brewers in general, we'll probably lose a handle or two. But at the end of the day, they always come back, and that's the nice thing about it. When it comes to other craft breweries, we all try to be really friendly with each other. I'd say the main thing that we see is a lot of ideas are somehow being repeated, not purposely, but more like accidentally. Because when you have so many brews and so many beers, it's hard to be super creative like it used to be. Say 5, 10, 3 years ago, really. But I mean, I'd say that's the worst negative thing that happens with as many breweries there are. But I mean, every year they'll do Cincinnati Beer Fest committee. So a lot of the Cincinnati breweries will get together and they'll break off into teams like 5 or 6, and about 4 or 5 breweries will be in between those teams, and then they'll all do their own collaboration with each other. And then a designated brewery will actually can or bottle for distribution in the Cincinnati area. So we have fun things like that happen that really kind of make it more enjoyable.
Yeah, that is nice. And you're right. It is harder to be creative, which I think maybe why there's so many hazy IPAs out there, like trends maybe catch on faster, I guess is what I mean, where, 10 years ago or 15 years ago, you could put vanilla beans in a stout, and then that's like, oh my God, what did they do? You blew everybody's mind, and you can't do that anymore.
Right. Now it feels like more getting like more obscure oak barrels and, you know, different barrel aging techniques, or spontaneous fermentation is now like the really out there kind of stuff that I'm starting to see. What it's also really cool to get involved in if you can, you know.
What's the next hazy IPA, if you know what I mean? Like, what's the next craze? I know you said spontaneous fermentation, but that's kind of been there, I think, right? Or is that?
I guess when I say that, I think more people are just like kind of getting on it, and you know, people are more willing to try. But for me, I don't know, man. People laugh at me all times. I think Pilsners are going to make a comeback.
Thank
for sure.
you. Yes.
Oh, perfect.
I appreciate that. That's a trend I will get on. I love a Pilsner, and they're amazing. They're amazing beers. I think they're underrated beers.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, for me, earlier, so my girlfriend and I just went to Bamberg maybe 3 months ago. And, you know, Bamberg is probably like the best beer capital in all Germany.
Yeah.
And, you know, before I went, you know, I was okay with lagers and, you know, regular just pills and everything. And then I went there. I was like, my gosh, I never knew these could taste so fantastic.
Because they're actually cold fermented there.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry?
I said because they're actually cold fermented over there.
Yes, they're actually done the traditional hard way, you know, with the step mashing and decoctions and all that good stuff.
Right.
But just, yeah. So, I mean, it's taken me so much by surprise, you know, to the point that I'm talking to brewery owners into letting me designate a fermenter just to be a lager tank 100% when we get our new fermenter in, because I can't get over them. And luckily, Garrett's been kind of going that direction, so I think I might win this fight, but we'll see.
Hey man, we'll pull for you. You know, if they want you know, some references or whatever,
sure.
Just call us up and I'll go look, Garrett. You know, come on, this is where it's at. Is there a call for lagers out there, or is that kind of something that you just want to see? Because I know part of the fun about being a brewer is to brew beers that you want to drink personally. Do you find the public is clamoring more for our pilsners, or at least maybe not clamoring, but interested in them enough to buy them because they're not hoppy, they're not cloudy, they're not going to punch you in the face with alcohol?
So this is my theory, and take for a grain of salt, but so for us out here, and I think this is in general, out here in Cincinnati, there's a lot of beer followers for sure, or I guess in that terms, beer geeks. But I'm one too, so I'm not
Enthusiast, yes, please. You're gonna send Tasty in a spiral right now.
I'm a geek, but call me an enthusiast.
You're an enthusiastic geek.
Well, a lot of these guys, you know, and you know, like I said, I'm one too, but, you know, they'll bring their friends to breweries, and a lot of their friends, you know, they'll try all the beers on tap, and they're like, yeah, I don't really like this, I don't really get it. And I feel like the beer nerds, their friends are the ones that are going to start bringing it back, because when you look at it, they're going to come into the bars and be like, hey, I just want something that's close to Bud Light. We have a really nice sessionable Czech Pilsner, or just a regular Bohemian style, or I'm sorry, German style. They're like, yeah, that really works nicely. And then say they come back they go to another bar, like, oh, you got a Pilsner, but say it's like a craft, and it's kind of like a PC Pils, you know, it's got a little bit of hop character to it. Like, oh, okay, I can kind of dig this. And then from there, they grow up and they go on to further beers. I feel like that Pilsner is always going to be that stepping stone beer that's really going to bring people towards it. And on top of, think of, you know, a lot of these beers that are coming out are just like high ABV. And especially for the brewers, you know, we get off work and we just want to have a couple beers just to smash, and then we can drive home all good and good. And, you know, all these beers we can't. So it's just like, some of the brewers want it, but also it's more of that stepping stone that feels really going to bring other people in. And I think a lot of the beer nerds are going to kind of help that with their drinking friends that they kind of want to bring into the drinking scene, you know? But, I mean, that's kind of like my theory, and that's how I kind of see it happening.
No, to me, the Pilsners or lagers, the attraction, you know, for me is the light, delicate flavor in there. And that's a lot of the new people that are getting into the beers, and again, the enthusiasts or nerds, are bringing those people around and explaining that to them.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's what's really going to help carry it. But, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of my buddies, you know, they'll crack one. They'll be like, damn, so this isn't Bud Light? And you're like, yeah, this is like how it should really try it. It's a good beer, you know. There's not a ton of adjuncts in there. It's a decent beer with malt.
Yeah, and if it gets a little warm, it still tastes good, you know.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's the key, man. Well, I appreciate that. I think you're spreading the good word, and you're doing the Lord's work over there, and you know, pushing lagers, because I don't know. I think that the craft beer scene, and it sounds like you kind of feel this way too. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Tell me I'm an asshole if you don't. Is that it's everything is we're kind of trend chasing. and then everybody's doing kind of the same thing, and then there's all these great styles that brought people in or currently bring people in that are kind of just getting left alone. And I think we may be doing a little more damage than we mean to as an industry. I think of just chasing the what's super popular. I don't know. Maybe I'm like putting way too much importance on beer.
We already found the 20% of America that likes bitter beer. Let's start making beer for the 80% that doesn't, but still get them into the craft umbrella.
Yeah. No,
I can argue the
like
percentages,
that.
but yes, there's a market there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was 80% drinking macro versus 20 versus craft.
There you go.
It's dropping now, man.
Yeah.
What's your guys' expansion plans? We talked to so many breweries who are we're going to be, full production brewery, or we're just focusing on our neighborhood. But it seems like Tasty was saying on your website, you guys are kind of everywhere right now. Are you pushing growth, or what are you guys going to do to ensure that you're still making beers here in 15, 20 years?
Yeah, so that's the funny thing. Asked me that a year ago. My answer is completely different, but. We're so at this moment right now, we're trying our best to kind of keep it local. We don't have any plans of going into Kentucky, but slowly probably going up from the Cincinnati area, probably up to like the Dayton area, then maybe to Columbus. But that's more of like a pretty far shot because we only have one sales rep right now. But we just bought, so we only have 4 15-barrel fermenters, and we just bought a 45. And so that one's going to be basically used just for our flagship beers. And then we'll try to keep those rolling. And then going on from there, we do have light canning and bottling. For the canning, we'll just do like our one-off New England IPAs. And then for the bottling, we're doing like our barrel-aged stouts and our sour beers. Now, for our barrel aging program, we do expect to take that one a little bit harder than we originally planned. Mostly just we were mostly just waiting for our first barrel age release to kind of see. That's our bourbon barrel release stout to see how well it would sell. Because honestly, Garrett and myself, we aren't really big bourbon barrel guys. So we really didn't put a lot of effort into that program. So I think we only have like 10 barrels right now versus our side, which has 36.
Wow.
So we're investing heavier into that. So we just picked up some apple brandy barrels, and we're getting more bourbon barrels in. We're going to try to expand that to like 20, 25 barrels and kind of keep that a continuous motion. But the sour program, we're really trying to expand a lot heavier. So we are in the works of looking for a warehouse to kind of get our barrels out of. Because of our space, we have about, like 2,000 square feet. That's kind of like a small basement, sort of. So it's like if you walk into our tap room, you're like basically on a loft, and then you look down 10 feet, and then you see the entire brew house. So the top layer is going to be our tap room, and so underneath that, we have all of our barrels kind of tucked away behind the fire doors. But it's expanding a lot faster than we were expecting. Trying to keep, adding every month just so we can kind of layer it so we don't have like big lags between our releases.
Yeah.
But yeah, warehouse is definitely something that we're looking into. And then with warehouse definitely comes, potential fooders, and then kind of really rip out the sour program. But we really want to be more focused on kind of like the barrel aging, kind of get that stuff out there, but also, other niche beers. Because like I said, I'm a beer nerd. Garrett's definitely a beer nerd. So we like to we like to brew what we drink, obviously. And we want to keep up with that. And so that's basically the route we're going to roll with. Now, you say 10, 15 years. I really can't say that one because who knows what the market's going to be like in 10 to 15 years. But,
well, yeah, I just didn't want to shortchange you and say 5, you know what I mean? So I was trying to the number.
We're going right now, I would say definitely expanding in the barrel aging side, keeping up with like our house beers, but we do a ton of fruited kettle sour Berliner and Gozes on the side, for the interim between when we have a barrel age release, and those are really well received. So just keeping those going, and anything else that really is kind of like trendy, I guess, at the moment, but also something that we ourselves like to drink, not just because it's what the people want, but in a sense, you are a business, so you have to brew what the people want to an extent.
Well, yeah, but it sounds like you're also cognizant of the fact that beers are running through trends, and you want to make beers that you guys want to drink, and that other people who maybe don't like those certain kind of beers, sour beers or hazy beers or whatever. You're still making beer for them.
Right.
And I like that. I appreciate that. We're beer drinkers too, Warren.
Yes, sometimes.
Well, right now we're drinking water, but what beer should we have? Because I know that I think it was a little different from the list that you sent, Bev, but I don't know. So we can have Bev go get those, and we can pour some beers.
Yeah, we could probably start off because I sent a coffee beer. I don't know. You guys want to try the sours first, and then end on like the Imperial Stout?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I'd say let's crack All in the Family. That's our first barrel-aged sour release. So that's actually coming out in 2 weeks. So I was really excited to get that out to you guys to try that out before the public release. So, yeah, let's try that bad boy.
Okay. And then what next? They're in the walk-in, so we'll have to take a break and then pour them all when we have the break.
Yeah, let's do let's see here. Brett and Berlin can be second. Then if you want to do the Key Lime Goza, and then we should have Return of the Mac, which is going to be a blonde coffee, a coffee blonde.
Okay.
And then Demogorgon.
All right. Which one's that?
The stout.
That's going to be an Imperial Stout.
Oh, she has. Well, then why was I writing it down, Bev?
Look at you guys doing the same thing at the same time.
Writing it down. I burned like half a calorie writing that list.
You're welcome.
Don't worry, she'll get you tacos with 700 calories in them.
Is that how much they are?
You're not allowed to have dinner.
Well, Warren's not allowed to have dinner.
Fine. I didn't want dinner.
All right, Luke, I'm going to take a break and wait for the beers, and then we're going to come back and we're going to drink your beers and judge your state. What do you think?
All right.
Oh, that's right.
And him as a person, remember?
Oh, that's right. And you as a person.
Him as a person.
That's a bonus, though, Kim. Oh. That was a bonus.
You could lose twice.
Yes. Judge the state, judge the man. Those are the two. Yeah. Anyway. All right, but before we do that, I do want to tell you guys that for years, the folks at More Beer have been leading the charge when it comes to cool and unique home brewing equipment, like the Robo Brew, which is the easiest way to brew all grain. Made from stainless steel, the Robo Brew allows you to make 9 gallons of beer all in one vessel. From boil to mash to cooling, the Robo Brew truly is self-contained. If you are thinking about getting into all grain brewing, you should seriously consider the Robo Brew. Or up your fermentation game with the all-new Fermentosaurus Plastic Conical. It has a 9-gallon capacity, a stainless steel stand, a sturdy butterfly dump valve at the bottom, and the best part is it will hold up to 35 PSI. Check out these awesome innovations and more over at morebeer.com. All right. About that break I mentioned, we are going to take it right now, and then when we come back, we're going to be speaking again with Luke from Streetside Brewery out of Ohio. Bev's going to be pouring us some tasty beers, and we're going to have a good time, so hang on, we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. The Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support, like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewers Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer, whether for yourself or as a gift. When you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5 Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star San, SanaClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5 Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5 Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5 Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5 Star treatment today.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on 2 gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy.
If you work in retail sales, the restaurant industry, or are a new craft beer enthusiast, or you know someone who is, you have got to check out Beer 101. Beer 101 is an online course created for anyone wanting a quick introduction to the vast world of craft beer. Beer 101 covers the history of beer, brewing ingredients and processes, vital stats like ABV, SRM, IBU, and gravity, styles, tasting, glassware, and pairing beer with food. The Beer 101 course is offered by the Brewers Association at craftbeer.com, also home to the truly awesome Beer Style Finder, a visual guide to every beer style. Quickly play with color, bitterness, and alcohol content to interactively explore the entire world of beer styles with a gorgeously designed interface to your favorite beverage. The new Beer 101 course and new Beer Style Finder are only available at craftbeer.com. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer.
Hey guys, what'll it be?
I'm not sure. What do you recommend?
A lot of people seem to like the Hefeweizen.
Is that a German Hefeweizen or more of an American-style wheat beer?
I'm not sure, but I can give you a taste.
Okay, great.
The Cicerone Certification Program certifies and educates beer professionals in order to elevate the beer experience for consumers. Unfortunately, not every bar is staffed with certified beer servers who can guide their customers through a beer list.
Here you go, guys. Let me know what you think of the Hefeweizen.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely more of an American meat. But I can hardly tell because this beer just smells like sour butter. I wonder how long it's been since they cleaned the draft line.
Yeah, and look at the bubbles on the side of the glass. It's filthy.
Somebody should tell these guys about the Cicerone program.
For sure. How about we head somewhere else for another beer?
Your server should give beer the same respect you do. Request quality. The Cicerone Certification Program offers 4 levels of beer certification, in-person classes, and course books for beer professionals. Check them out at cicerone.org. The Cicerone Certification Program. We know beer.
Hi, this is Tyler from Libertine Brewing Company on the Central Coast of California. You're listening to Brewing Network, The Session. It sucks. Does it suck? It sucks. But that's what's good about it, is that it sucks, right?
Thanks, everyone, for hanging out and sticking with us. Smelling Bev's food right now. Bev's eating
man,
without
it's getting
us.
a little hunger pain here.
Yeah, food would be nice.
She's like, I'm starving. I'm like, hey, you know what? So are your boys.
Her boys?
Kim's not starving, though. She didn't chime in, so I said your boys.
Oh, we're her boys.
Yeah, we're Bev's boys.
Well, that's why I'm like, she has a girl. Yeah.
I took no responsibility for any of you.
You thought it was like a titty joke?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know, the boys.
Them boys. Hey, it's them boys.
They call them the girls. Whatever.
What are you going to do? Hey, have you visited the Vault for Home Brewers?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, all right. There's that library.
Well, then he knows already.
No, I haven't. It goes better now, right?
Yeah, there we go. Hey, Tasty, have you visited the Vault for Homebrewers?
No, I have no clue.
No.
Tell me about it.
Well, I don't want to waste my time.
He sounds like he's been already.
It doesn't sound like you'd be into it anyway.
Oh, I would be, actually.
I'm just kidding. It's White Labs' collection of specialty one-of-a-kind strains where you're able to pre-order and decide which strains are released to homebrewers. All you have to do is visit whitelabs.com/thevault and place a pre-order on the strain you'd like to use. Once it reaches 150 orders, White Labs will release the yeast and ship it directly to your doorstep. And there's good news for professional brewers, too. If you want access to any Vault strains for your next brew day, place a minimum order of 1.5 liters through yeastman.com or by contacting a customer service representative, and you'll get access to their unique specialty strains as well. And if you're into the haze craze, like we've been talking about here a little bit, WLP 066, which is their London Fog Ale yeast, is a great choice for those hazy New England-style IPAs. And White Labs has already released it twice from the vault. Wow.
Wow. Very popular.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's how you know something's super popular.
Exactly.
Where, I mean, they're just, because normally I think they just rotate them or whatever in the vault or something.
Once in a while.
Yeah. Don't wait. Homebrewers, visit whitelabs.com/thevault to learn more and place a pre-order today.
Well, we're in the middle of the peak brew season, or we're starting the peak brew season where you can, because it's cooler, you can control fermentation temperatures. So in the 3 months from now will be the entry date for the National Brew Competition. So
that's
people
true.
should consider buying some of these special yeast and doing a split batch where they just make their standard English mild with their normal yeast and enter that, but then make another option for a beer with a yeast they've never used before.
Yeah, that's a good point, and they just announced those dates too. I think, right?
Yeah, that's just come. Yeah, so it's a peak brewing season. That's why the competition is in early spring. It's this is the great weather to do fermentation.
God, man, I got 3 taps loaded with beer, and I haven't touched them because I've just been drinking Celebration.
Yeah.
So now's the time for you to plan what you're going to be brewing to compete with in March.
Yeah, a kid. That's what I'm competing with.
Well, that changes
you brew
everything.
now
You're
before
be
the
out
kid.
of business by then.
Because this will be the last time you get to brew.
Exactly.
You have 4 months left of brewing.
I have a robot. I'm straight, man. I do not plan on taking one of those 4-year sabbaticals from brewing because I have a kid. There's no way it's not going to happen.
No, good for you.
You're going to have the Pico raise your kid while you brew?
Yes, I think so.
That should be an option. That should be the next Pico
babysit
attachment.
my child.
Right, yeah.
Well, I feel like if it's cold, like in the winter or whatever, I can just nestle it up against the keg while it's brewing or whatever.
Well, you could just sous vide the kid to sleep, right? Set it for 80 degrees, 90 degrees.
Yeah. Warm bottles in it.
Right. See, it's already taking care of the kid.
Anyway, we're back on with Luke here. Luke, are you with us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't we lose you? Oh, nice. Welcome back, Luke, of course, from Streetside Brewery in Ohio. We have some beers in front of us. I think they're in the same order, but see, here's what happened, Luke, is I threw that list at Bev. So now I don't remember which beers they are, but I believe the first one was All in the Family.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about this beer while we sip like trained professionals.
So this beer is kind of cool. So I guess after maybe a month into us brewing, or since we opened, the dad of Garrett came down and was like, hey guys, so my sister's husband's brother, he's got a vineyard out in Napa, and he's got some cab barrels he doesn't want anymore. Do you guys want them? And we're like, yeah, sure, why not? That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
To us, we're like, yeah, it's never going to happen. Like, how are we going to get cab barrels in California? Well, so it just happens that he knows a guy who just does cross-country trips, and has this big, like a big FedEx bus, basically. And he went out there, picked him up, brought him back, and we got him. And with maybe 2 weeks of him telling us that, and we were like, oh, okay, cool. This is pretty badass. We got these brand new barrels, whatever. That's awesome. So we're like, okay, well, we just got him. We got to fill him right away. So I think the next day we wrote a recipe, just brewed it really fast. Probably really dexterous enough. So it was base was Pilsner, spelt, unmalted wheat, and flaked oats. And we fermented it out, and it stalled out around, say, 1020, 1025, because we underpitched it, try to get some more of that, try to get a little bit more sugar in there. Racked into them barrels, and then just pitched it with, I think it was sour mix from White Labs, and we hit it in secondary fermentation. That bad boy rolled for about 10 months, and then from there, we decided it was just about right. So from there, we then racked into our funk tank, which is like a 900-liter stainless steel tank, and let sit for a couple of weeks, bottle condition from there, and then let that one sit for about 2.5 months, and it is now in front of your face.
I really like it, man. I really dig this.
Yeah, this is the first sour release you've had.
This is my first. Well, this is Garrett's and I's first professional sour beer we've ever released. Yes,
barrel aged sour.
Yeah.
Because the Raspberry Beret one was your first technical one, right?
That's kettle
sour. Yeah, but those are kettle sours. So
are they not the same?
They're real sours, but we pasteurize them. So these are all unpasteurized.
Okay.
And with Brett, Petio, and Lacto, and then regular Saccharomyces.
Is kettle sour like a cheatery thing, or?
You could say it's just the reason why we do them is, one, we like sours, but two, we wanted to make sure that people knew that we were making sours versus being like, oh wow, they're coming out with all these sours and they've never created one before. This is kind of weird. So it's a way to make them really fast. We'll keep the wort really warm, say like 92, and we'll pitch a lacto starter at it, about 5 gallons. And then we'll let it sit for about 18 hours, and then we'll drop to around, say, 3 pH. And then from there, we'll just take it over to the kettle, and we'll boil it to pasteurize it, and then we'll ferment it out like a regular beer. And then from there, we'll fruit it. But like I said earlier, we wanted to make sure people knew what we were actually going to do sours. And also, Garrett and I love to drink sours, so we've just been doing a lot of kettle sours in the interim.
And it sounds like they've been popular with your customers, so that's great.
Yeah, and I forget the question because I never really know, because some people are, some people don't care, like anything in life, but especially beer. Like some people are very passionate on one side of the fence or the other, and so I didn't know, but I like the answer, man. But this beer is really good. It's very complex.
Yeah, we're pretty excited for we expect like the second iteration of this, because we just layer it in the barrels until we have more space and we can do more stuff. But I'm hoping there'll be a little bit more complexity in the second generation. But yeah, for the first one, I can't complain at all. We're really taken away by how it developed. And yeah, so really excited about it for sure.
It has a lot of Chardonnay character. I don't know if that's possible from just the barrel, but yeah.
I was getting that too. I'm not sure. So the Brettanomyces strain, I don't know. I guess in the next beer, let me know if you taste it, Tasty. But in the next one, it's called Brent Berlin. So it's just our Berliner Weiss soured in the barrel with lacto and then fermented with Brettanomyces Coccinea. And I think just the Coccinea from the labs gives off a lot of like white wine Chardonnay character.
Okay.
I hope you don't mean diacetyl when you say Chardonnay.
No, not at all.
Yeah, not like a California Chardonnay.
I would PM you if that was the case.
Because you said that this was aged in cab barrels, not Chardonnay barrels, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're first use French oak aged Cabernet for 30 months, and then we got them.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely do get some of the Chardonnay white wine flavors. I wouldn't have guessed cab barrels, but I'm not a wine expert.
No, I wouldn't have guessed wine barrels, to be honest, at all. I would think that, like what Luke's saying, that's coming from the Brett and all that kind of other stuff like that. But there is that, light citrus, almost a kiwi kind of thing happening.
Mm-hmm. This is a beer a wine drinker could just go crazy for.
Yeah. Well, except all the funk. But definitely, if you go, hey, look, and again, if you're going to introduce a sour beer to someone, you should tell them that it's a sour beer.
That's true.
So I think if you, especially a wine drinker, so I think you're right. If you wanted to find a beer that a wine drinker would be into, as long as you appropriately prepped their palate, yeah, for sure. Now check this out. This is going to fucking flip your shit.
Try this new white wine.
Yeah, it's going to turn your underwear inside out, but it's really good. Check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. To follow up on that, we do have a really cool project coming up. It's a beer-wine hybrid, so try to get as close as to wine as legally possible. But we took 49% unfermented Sauvignon Blanc grape juice, and then we blended that with 51% sour base. And so that's re-fermenting right now. But that what I would say would probably really be a wine drinker's beer, because it's basically wine, but by legalities, it's got that 2% of still beer.
2%.
Right. Are you still getting barrels from California?
So
via
that
FedEx truck?
is every once in a while. So we just got. So it's a small vineyard. So we got 6 in the first run, and we just got 4 more in the other, say like a month ago, and then everything else has just been through. We got 6 from another vineyard, another guy who sourced it for us. I don't know where these came from, and then actually, to be honest, we got 12 other ones that we just got came from a winery called, I think it was called Tobin Wineries or something. But those we got 12 of those in from California as well. So,
are your barrels from California, or are there any local winery things in the?
They're all wineries, but we have not been able to source any since they're all kind of small. A lot of the wineries like to hold on to them for 6 to plus uses until they retire them, but never can get them in time before they get rid of them. So everything has been sourced from either California or through some broker.
Well, one of those wineries around there must like beer. Maybe you could work up some deal with them where you could.
But we're working on it. We're trying to, for sure. That would probably be a dream come true, obviously.
Yeah, wow. I don't know, man. I'm sitting here trying to like break this beer down. It's probably one of the more complex American sours that I've had in a very long time. Not ever. I mean, because I haven't had them all, Warren. But
well, that you've had ever. Not that anybody's had ever.
I don't know. Ever. That's a good. I'd say it's up there. I'd say it's up there. It's very complex.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying you're crazy.
Right. I would almost go as far as to say, like, if you had told me this is from an American brewery, I would question where you got this beer from.
Cincinnati, baby.
What's that?
I said Cincinnati, baby.
That's right.
All right, this is a tick in the good column for you and your state.
Yeah, you're repping well, Luke.
There we go.
We start with a good one. I don't know. We'll play me easy now, guys. Right? I wanted to make sure.
And how are people digging this beer?
Surprisingly well. So yeah, like you were saying, a lot of the beer drinkers, well, at least to start, were actually a lot of wine drinkers. And not being sexist or anything, but a lot of female drinkers were drinking a lot of our stuff.
Wow.
2017, you have to be careful.
You do.
Take away the point in the good column for personality.
You have to be careful about female drinkers.
Them too.
But no, so we had quite a few starting off from there, and then it's just really starting to slowly evolve to the point now. I'm not really up in the tap room too often, but when I am, and typically when someone asks to get a glass, because we'll pull a small sample because we don't have a lot of barrels to pull off, a lot of samples or anything.
Yeah.
It's a snifter glass, and they'll get one. They're like, they'll come back up. And I'll take another one of that all in the family place, and I'm just like, yes, it's awesome. It's not been a waste of time this last entire year.
because you're turning wine drinkers into beer drinkers, or at least letting them know that there's more out there than just going to the wineries.
Right, and still sours are still kind of like. I don't know. There's still difference. People still don't really understand why you would drink something that's sour,
Mm-hmm.
And so just to see that the response has been so high, or I'm sorry, the praises have been so well, not praise. I'm sorry. It's been well taken so far. Let's put it that way. It's just exciting because we've been, like I was saying, we've been layering every single month. So 2 to 4 barrels every single month, new barrel, and at the end of the day, sometimes I think, like, man, has this been a whole waste? But, seeing how this has been, it was well received, it's very exciting to see. So, let's keep up with what we're doing.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm glad you're going to take my advice and can continue to do this. Okay, what's the second beer? It's the Brett in Berlin, right?
Yeah, so this beer is just regular Berliner Weiss, so 50-50 Pilsner to wheat, and then we'll just sour with Lacto Plantarum in the barrel. And then from there, we'll pitch 100% Brettanomyces, Clauseniata, So its starting gravity is pretty low. It's probably like 1035, 36. And then from there, it just ferments out down to maybe 1001, 1002. And then from there, we just, pretty much it. We just put it on draft. It's a single barrel. It was more of an experiment to see how fast we could flip a barrel to put on draft for our 1 year anniversary. And we actually were able to get All in the Family on draft with it too. So, but yeah, pretty basic. But this was actually our first release we did, but our second project. But there might be, to be honest, there might be a slight sulfur kick on it. Unfortunately, I undercarved the keg because actually this is the first time I've ever bottle conditioned. So I had a forced carb, but just a little bit. So there might be a little sulfur kick up. A little bit, but I still get all those kind of white wine characteristics. It's a little bit. It's not as bright as I would say as the All in the Family, but it's got a little bit maybe slight mustiness from the Brettanomyces.
To me, it smells like some tart whites that I was drinking 2 weeks ago. It smells more like a white wine than the other one tastes like a white wine, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Very, very bright, very tart in the aroma, which I don't know if that's a valid aromatic description or not, but
yeah, no, for sure. And then you kind of get I don't know. I kind of get a sort of sweet tart, maybe light pineapple kind of the characteristics on the palate. But nice, really tangy, very citrusy.
And is that sulfur something that would age out?
Yeah, for sure. To be honest with you, I actually I'm drinking alongside you because I actually forget. I have a terrible memory. But the bottle I poured today, the sulfur is pretty much all gone. So unfortunately, I had to rush that package. So
yeah, that's all right.
Well, I'm not getting it at all, but I'm not
kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not super getting it either. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I don't really
Find a
get
way
it.
if it is there.
Yeah,
I get it in the same levels that you get in some white wines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that kind of might help with the wine impression.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But there are I do get some sulfur and mercaptans or whatever they are called. For sure.
Oh, Captain,
yeah,
Captain.
That was a big one for me too. I've never heard that one.
Don't quote me on it. I might be mixing around some letters.
Well, as long as that's offensive, that's all that matters. Right?
Yeah, right. I hate it.
Someone's offended out there.
He's actively vomiting in the corner.
Maybe we'll finally get some feedback.
Yeah.
Right.
How's this one go over in the tap room? People liking this one too because it is seem more acidic than the other
more
one.
Total tartness.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is crazy because it's just lacto, and it's a really tame strain of lacto. So it's actually kind of crazy how tart it is. Someone had told me the other day they were trying to. A gentleman had asked about it. Was like, they wanted to form them. This is our barrel aged version. It's a little more. It's actually sour versus how we'll describe our other kettle sours as more as a tart. And they're like, oh yeah, for sure. I know kettle sours. Or, I'm sorry, I know Berliner Weisses are pretty chill and everything. Like, okay, well, it's pretty sour. They're like, yeah, okay. So we had it to him. He's like, holy shit, that's sour. We're like, yeah, it's a little more aggressive than the other beers. Other than that one, it's been pretty good. Pretty good praises. So far so good on the feedback on our 2 sour releases so far. Yeah,
and I apologize because it may seem weird to ask. Well, how do people like the beer? Because obviously, if they hated it, you wouldn't be making it, or at least maybe not sending it up. But I'm curious for such a young brewery doing so many sour beers. Just how people like it, if they give a shit or not. I guess is really kind of what it comes down to. And it sounds like they're loving it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Hopefully, I'm not coming off as pompous or anything. But
no.
I
mean, a little bit, but it's fine.
Another point again.
Right.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Telling all the Belgian sour makers they're wasting time.
If you are, it's playing well here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I would say the saving grace for us is a lot of the kettle sours we do. We would not to the extent of making a juice, but we hit them pretty heavy with fruit. So I mean, the most we ever, I don't know. So the raspberry we probably put. For a yielding batch of 13 barrels, we'll do about 440 to 480 pounds of raspberry puree. Wow. So we do quite an amount of of puree in general. Sometimes we'll get crazy and do 3 berries. So for our 1 year anniversary, we did a triple berry, which was blackberry, raspberry, and blueberry. But with all these fruited kettle sours that come out prior to these, I think a lot more people are more willing to try them and be like, well, we've always liked these ones prior, so why wouldn't we like these? And so, yeah, maybe Brett and Berlin might be a little bit more aggressive because of the sourness. But when they drink All in the Family, they'll be like, oh, wow, this is really complex. This is definitely different. And, I think because of the kettle sours, that has definitely helped us with having good feedback so far with our barrel ages.
Yeah, and I guess that's a good point. There is a variety in the sours, so you're going to find something that you like with regards to sour beers, because you can do sours totally wrong, or you can nail them. And I think you're in the latter category there for sure. I think these are both really good, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the pretty much the straight lactic beers are like an introduction to sour beer. So when they get the All in the Family and it's got a true mixed culture fermentation, they must find it much more interesting.
Yeah, and as you were saying, the complexity behind it is a little bit. I think it makes you wrap your head around a little bit more than versus like, oh, that's a shit ton of fruit and it's a little bit tart. That's a great beer. Versus like, what am I tasting here? I can get like a little white wine, maybe a little bit of oak character, depending on how sophisticated their palate might be. But like, it's something that you kind of like dive into a little bit further, and kind of makes you think a little bit about it,
Yeah, and which is great, obviously, but it's nice to not. Well, what am I trying to say? It's nice to get away from, like you just said, here's a tart beer with this berry, and here's a tart beer with this berry, and then here's a tart beer with these two berries, and then that's all that we have. It's nice to be able, as a sour beer fan, to be able to stroll in and have a not only a variety of sour beers, but a variety of flavors represented within those beers. And I think that's a hard thing to do. I think it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, going down the road, I think it'll be more interesting to see how, because I like the plan that we'll have, a fairly wide cellar, and I would like to do like a cuvee that I find maybe my favorite barrels, and then I do a blend of those, and I'm really looking for like maybe this red base and this this white base. This golden base really come together, and maybe you're getting a little bit of raspberry character from the Brettanomyces in this red base, and you're kind of getting this white wine character from this blonde base, and hopefully by then, people kind of be able to accept and understand that I'm not trying to go for the biggest fruit amount. I'm not trying to go for like the rarest barrel. I'm trying to go for like the biggest like marriage between both bases and how they can really show and how a sour beer can really be.
Yeah.
Are you also blending cultures at that point? Or are you picking barrels that have the same blend of bugs?
I'd be blending cultures.
A melting pot,
say,
if you will.
Like a Flanders Red with, say, just a regular Brettanomyces barrel of Pavia. Or, doing a regular Brett barrel with a Lacto barrel, just to kind of get the acidity from one side and then trying to get the funk, depending on how I express the Brettanomyces in the fermentation, to kind of get all those flavors to really evolve within each other.
And then will you re-age them again, or are you just blending them right before packaging, and then they're just in the bottle?
Okay. So I haven't done these yet, but I would imagine I just like blend out, re-age until they kind of got their new any false characters out, and then from there package.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think we're all learning, Warren.
Yeah. Well, I thought he was talking about the ones that we're drinking.
Oh, right.
Right. Not what would happen in the future.
I apologize. I was talking in the future. For now, so what we'll do is once the barrels are ready, so this has only been, so I guess the best example would be we just blended a Saison. So that was 3 different cultures. So we did one, which was a sour Saison base, so Saison and Lacto. The other one was like, I think it was Giga Yeast Cherry Funk. I'm not really sure what was in that one.
Okay.
And then we took our clean Saison, which was fermented out with, I think it was French Saison yeast. And so from there, I blended those out, and those are actually sitting in stainless. And so those are aging. Those will probably sit in the stainless tank for maybe another month. There's a little bit of THP that I want to kind of have work out. And then from there, bottle off. But yeah, definitely letting those sit because they're just too young, and I kind of want to see how the flavors evolve.
Well, and don't you have to worry about the final gravities changing possibly and doing
for sure.
fermentation?
So it's already dropped maybe 0.2 Plato. So I want to let it wait. Typically we'll do about 2 months. So for all in the family, we did 3 barrels, and they were steady Plato of 2 for 2 months. And then after that, we transferred it into the stainless. Sat for another 2-3 weeks. Nothing changed from there, and then we blended out. And then we bottle conditioned from there.
Oh, okay.
Does that sound good, Lauren?
And no problem so far.
No, nothing so far. Yeah. I would say the bottle conditioning, the product, it went through some phases. The first phase was like a diacetyl bloom, so that was pretty bad. And then from there, it went to a sulfur phase. And then from there, it was fine. So it took about 2.5 months for it to clean up in the bottle.
Are these normal for what you guys are doing?
From my understanding, it's normal. To be honest with you, that was actually the first bottle I've ever bottle conditioned.
Oh,
so,
well, yeah, okay.
I was incredibly nervous.
Were you sitting there like, I need to wear a diaper because I'm gonna crap myself?
We're going to dip all these bottles.
I was pretty nervous actually because we would. Garrett would actually yell at me. I'm not yelling at me like physically, but like he'd be like, stop worrying, because we filled some PET kegs, and I would just push the plastic every day. I was like, it's not getting hard. Is it fermenting? What's going on? And then the third day I pushed it, was rock hard. I was like, yes, it's fermented. So I was pretty excited about that.
It's hard as a rock.
Well, that's cool that your partner there kind of is trying to calm your ass down, man, because that's got to be stressful, man.
You should see my girlfriend. She's just like, all right, Luke, stop it now. We're done. We're done talking about beer. We're going to watch TV for the rest of the night. I'm like, I just don't know. Will
the kegs be hard tomorrow?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like, will they be ready?
Yeah. An Extends commercial comes on, and he's like, God, that's my beer. Is it hard? I don't know. Why can't it just get hard?
I need to go somewhere. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating, man. But which would be worse? Beer that's not hardening its container, or working in a hotel?
Yeah, true. I don't know. There's more responsibility on me because that's technically not my product. It's
well,
company,
that's true.
so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we know whose it is. That's
yeah, it's mine now. It's in my glass. What's this third beer? I forget which one this was.
Third one is going to be our key lime pie goza.
Oh, that's nice.
So this one was just a regular kettle sour. Then we dosed it with salt and coriander in the boil. Fermented normally. On this one, we did cheat. We did just use natural flavoring for the key lime, but then we used vanilla for the kind of like the pie crust flavor to it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Fortunately, we didn't have time to zest all the kiwis to throw into the boil, but we'll do that some other time.
All right, that's a tick against. Wow, this is an interesting beer, man.
Yeah, it took me a couple sips to get calibrated to it.
I've had that one sip, and I'm trying to get in the mindset of going from that Berliner to beer.
I'm going to say both you. It doesn't really taste as flavorful to my palate at the moment. It's kind of burnt out.
Yeah.
Also because vanilla and aroma, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and God, it smells. Everything's interesting. I don't know. You said it kind of like a margarita. So I do get, and maybe it's psychosomatic, but I do get this kind of tequila-esque, aroma thing going on, like a melted margarita.
Yeah, to me, it's as advertised. It's key lime pie, like everything I imagine a key lime pie would be in a beer. That's what this is.
You've never had a key lime pie?
No.
What?
Oh
really?
I've had key lime flavored yogurt.
What are you doing? Talking out of school about key lime pie then?
Wow, what a typical Californian. I've had key lime flavored yogurt.
Probably.
So you know the flavor, but you've never had the pie.
Right, exactly. I mean, I know what key limes are. I've had that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
What if you had a key? The only reason to have key limes is to put into a pie.
Drinks, cocktails, things.
Yeah, garnish.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Guess what my offering is in December.
Hi.
Oh, key lime pie. Merry Christmas, key lime pie.
So you use vanilla to replicate the crust, or to why vanilla? Why? I mean, I guess what else would you use?
I
don't know. From I'm sorry.
I was just going to say any sort of malt character probably would make it as far as the finished beer.
Yeah, you couldn't use. That's because typically what we would use, right, is like a biscuit malt or something like that.
It
but
would make it this
in a beer this light, how do you do that?
Yeah, so I definitely wouldn't be able to know how to do that one. So I mean, just a lot of at the very beginning, we would test batch a lot of these recipes before we did them on the big system, just kind of like as an insurance policy to make sure that we knew, hey, if we can at least 15 gallons, we can probably hit it at 15 barrels.
It's like proof of concept.
Yeah, because Garrett and I were pretty used to, like, at my old brewery, I was brewing on a 30-barrel system, and I would scale up from 5-gallon recipes to there, and they would get pretty close. And Garrett would do the same over at his old brewery, so we were both pretty confident on our scaling techniques. And so we just found out that vanilla, at a certain extent, kind of gives off this kind of graham crackery, flaky-ish kind of a flavor. And I also, to be honest with you, I got that idea, to be honest, I got the idea from Westbrook, from their key lime goza. I remember taking the tour, and they did a key lime goza that was just unreal. And I remember the guy saying they used vanilla bean, and I never forgot that. So when we did some trials, sure that vanilla bean worked out. Boom.
And so, do all of your kettle sours come out this clear? I'm not sure if I've ever seen a clear sour beer.
Brilliantly clear.
So honestly, I can't answer that because we fruit everyone. But I don't know. We use a thing called Brightsorb in the Bright Tank because we're an unfiltered brewery. And we'll just go straight to the Bright Tank. We'll hit it with Brightsorb, and then we'll let it sit for 24 hours, and then everything kind of like drops out to an extent. But yeah, actually, I never really thought about that. But maybe this is just a prime example. I don't know. Yeah, 'cause like I said, we typically will fruit every single one that we get, or we'll do some sort of addition to it. We never typically just go straight. But we do use Saf Hill for our kettle sours, so that could be it. Pretty hard flocking yeast.
Okay.
So that might be it, but I'm not sure.
It just added to my confusion because I forgot the order and thought it was going to be the coffee blonde ale. And so I'm like, this is the strangest coffee I've ever smelt in my life.
Maybe it's decaf.
Yeah,
maybe it's decaf.
It's decaf coffee.
Yeah, duh.
I might like decaf.
Man, to me, it smells like tequila.
Mm-hmm.
I get like, this is, I mean, obviously a watered down. It doesn't smell like boozy like tequila, but the flavor of, just a tequila with salt around the rim and a little bit of lime. I don't know.
A little graham cracker on the side.
Yeah, a little bit, man. And then you taste it. Yeah, and it tastes very much like a key lime pie, and maybe even a little creaminess for the whipped cream. That might be in my head.
Oh, with the vanilla.
Yeah, with the vanilla and kind of the soft mouthfeel there.
That sounds good.
That's a good beer, man. Is the coriander doing anything? Am I missing the coriander? Didn't you say there was coriander in this?
Yeah, the coriander. No, I don't really get anything out of it. I'm not sure if I lessen the amount on this one purposely or not. I don't, to be honest. But typically the coriander is pretty subtle, depending. But typically I get like, I don't know. So when I scale up for my homebrew, it's like 15 grams for 5 gallons. So not too much per se.
No.
But I probably went a little bit under. I probably did more like 9 or 8 on purpose to kind of get that. Because with the coriander, you get that lime, zesty characteristic from it, and I didn't really want that to intrude on the other flavors.
Yeah, I think that's smart. I think that's, but you have to have it in there.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna call it goes.
Okay, and then we have the other beers. So, what is the next one? Let me see if I can. The one louder? No,
that one unfortunately is all gone. The next one, dude, it's that damn FedEx. I'm telling you, man.
Return of the Mac.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is just a base blonde with it's a 2-row and then a little bit of honey malt for the color and just a tiny bit of sweetness. And then we use a local roastery that has a coffee called, what is it called?
Caramel cream?
Yes, that's exactly it.
I pulled that out of my head.
How did you know that?
Yes.
I'm a frequenter to Cincinnati. And I feel like...
you know the coffee.
You drink their coffee.
All the time. Yeah, I go there just for the caramel. No, it's in the notes.
I know.
So we just we'll just dry bean it. So we'll take the beer finished, throw it into the bright tank, and then we'll actually just take whole beans and just let sit in the bright tank. So we make sure that the beans are like just roasted day of for sanitation purposes. And then I'm not sure what flavorings they use, but they use something for the caramel cream flavor. Sit in the bright tank for 2 to 3 days typically is how long it takes, but typically we'll just go by when it tastes right. And then we'll pull the beans out, we'll carbonate it, and then we'll keg off.
This beer is funky, man. But not in the ways of the other beers. This is Warren. This might take me a little bit to figure out too.
This beer?
Yeah.
Well, it reminds me of if I imagined having a coffee.
You've never had coffee either? Warren exists on Soylent and just yogurt, and that's all he does. He doesn't actually eat solid food.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard about food.
No, it has actually like a spiced coffee character. Could be
a lot of people say
coconut. Coconut?
I get coconut, man, for sure.
It's like those Jelly Belly combinations that they give you on the wrapper. It tastes like the cream soda one and the coffee one together.
Who are you?
I drove past Fairfield yesterday, all right? We passed the Jelly Belly
Her couch
factory.
is Jelly Belly covered.
That's true, because it's on my mind.
Yeah, it's like not a black coffee, but like a real, latte or something.
Yeah. And so
it's very creamy. It's a very creamy mouthfeel.
The cream flavor is on the coffee grounds themselves or beans themselves? Is that what you were saying?
So we just take whole beans and we put them into a paint strainer bag, and then we'll tie it up, and then we'll just let it sit, just in a crude sense, teabag it.
And that comes from a winery in California, too.
The tea bag?
Okay. We actually have a beer called tea bags. It's actually a green tea honey beer. And the reason why we call it tea bags is because we literally tea bagged it in the...
It's a literal sense.
We're weak of mind here. When you say tea bag, we think one thing.
I like this beer a lot. The coffee is messing with me because I taste the coffee essence, but I don't taste I don't taste coffee, if this makes sense. I taste it's like I'm tasting the aromatics of the coffee, but I don't taste any coffee impact. Which I presume because the oils are coming off of the beans, along with the caramel cream, and I almost want some sort of coffee.
Well, the acidity, because the cream flavoring and maybe the honey malt and everything are covering up the bite that you typically get with just the acidity from plain coffee.
Well, but it's not even in there, right? Because you're soaking the beans. You're not. I don't know, Luke. Maybe is Warren right? Am I just stupid, or both?
No, I mean, brewery. So there's a guy that we knew who used to brew, made a really good stout, and basically he let it sit, the coffee beans sit in the stout. So unfortunately, I think there's some artificial flavoring here. I apologize, but it wasn't. For our knowing, it was more because of how the roaster flavored the coffee bean. Yeah. And so we always had this idea that if you took a flavored coffee bean, we're probably just going to strip the coffee bean, or not the coffee bean, but the flavor because of the oils that they put on it. Yeah. Whatever that they use. So we were always expecting to have some sort of coffiness to it. But from this one, I feel like the flavorings that they used were more potent than we were expecting. Hence why we also got that coconut flavor, because when we would smell and when we brewed the coffee and we tried it before we threw it into the beer, we just got a lot of caramel and then, dark roast character. And then when we threw it into the beer, we're getting all these other flavors that we weren't getting when it came out into the black coffee. So I think it's a little bit of both, but I really think it's because the oils are so strong, it's actually masking a lot of the flavor. Yeah. But I think, the honey malt, the main intention for the honey malt is just try to add some sweetness because it's a little light in body. So we're trying to add some of that to it. But yeah, I'm not saying anything's wrong. That's definitely could be it too.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you grind the coffee and drink it afterwards? I mean, come on.
No,
Have beer
actually,
Why
we
not?
gave it back. The first time we ever did this, we actually gave it back to the roaster to see if he could do anything with it. But he never got back to us about it, so I don't think it went well.
Just add more. He probably saved it for the next batch. He just added more caramel cream to it and then gave it right back to you.
He sold you the same coffee twice.
Yeah.
Well, Luke,
beer flavor time.
Luke, how long do you leave the beans in the bright tank, in the tea bag?
So typically it's around 3 days.
And what's the texture of the beans when you take it out?
They're
so firm? Are they mushy? What's going on?
Yeah, not trying to like spice. They just come out, they're super wet and firm, and just kind of like when you throw something into water. They don't change at all.
I've had people tell me and they bring them out. They're mush. They're like you're just like everything that's available is given to the beer. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
because why don't you grind them up like
whole beans?
Yeah, you might be better like chopping them up a little bit. Of course, with that you have to be consistent so that the next batch you make, you'll know how much coffee to use.
Right. Yeah, this is just a technique that we use at the old brewery. So, we'll do it on our regular stouts that are just like dark roast. And we always got killer flavor. But yeah, I'm sure if we sliced them up, we could probably use like half the amount that we do already.
Yeah, absolutely. Get more surface area and all that kind of stuff. Hey, if you have any questions, home brewers, if you have any questions for making any sort of beers, you guys can probably hit up Great Fermentation. They have the largest catalog of Blickman products on the web, and their staff is some of the best trained in the business in using these products. They offer top-notch customer service, same-day shipping. Check them out, greatfermentations.com. Of course, they're all over social media, so that's the new hotness for the kids. That's the trend. That's the hazy IPA of the internet, Warren. Social media. Did you know that? Did you know this? Have you heard about this?
Oh, it sounds like something I would really like.
GR8 Fermentation. They're all over Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. Great Fermentations, good people. Well, I guess great people. Why not? Let's upgrade them.
GR8 people.
GR8 people. Okay, let's do I think it's the last one, right? The Demogorgon?
Yes.
All right.
So, Demogorgon is our first barrel-aged stout that we released. If you haven't caught it yet, Demogorgon is based from Stranger Things. Garrett and I are big Stranger Things nerds.
Yeah, you have to be.
We've done quite a few beers. We've done, not a lot, 3 of them. We've done one called L, or 011, and then we do a beer called Where's Barb? And so the story behind Where's Barb is, so the base beer, so we start off with the base beer, which is actually the Demogorgon. But for Where's Barb, we'll actually fruit it during fermentation with sweet and sour cherries. More on the sweet cherries, kind of give like Black Forest cake sort of flavor. And then we'll hit with cacao nibs and vanilla beans. And so that's like a big dessert stout. And then the original batch, before we fruit it, is then the Demogorgon. So for this batch, we then threw it into Heaven Hill barrels and let it sit actually for a short time. This one only sat for about 6.5 months. And it went into the barrels at 11.5, and it came out at 13.1 when all blended together.
Wow.
So pretty fresh barrels. That's another beauty of being in Cincinnati, or just in Ohio in general. It's just a hop, skip, and then you're in Kentucky, and that's just Bourbon County. So, you go to any cooperage, and you're picking up barrels for pennies on the dollar. For someone, say, in California, you have to pay freight and everything like that. But yeah, so 6.5 months, and then from there, just bottle them off. And so this is the Demogorgon.
Damn. It's bourbon. Mm-hmm. The giant just hit.
I feel drunk.
Of alcohol in my mouth. Which I imagine what it would be like to encounter a Demogorgon.
So Netflix hasn't sent you a cease and desist yet for all of your
No, well, so Demogorgon isn't trademarked. We checked because we actually have gotten a cease and desist. So on one of our New England can releases, and this sucked because we got the cease and desist maybe like a couple weeks before the release. It was called Chillin' with Bob Ross. So we actually had our graphic designer. He had a picture of, he did a design of like a big afro and a guy just drawing on a painting, and it was awesome. Like, it was the funniest thing we've ever done, and people were going apeshit for it. People were coming up from like Tennessee because they were like, "Oh, my name's Bob Ross. This is so cool. I have to get and then we get like from BobRoss.com. We're like, "Yeah, you gotta drop that." We're like, damn it. And we're like, we have like 2 weeks left, so we had to get we had to resubmit a name. Luckily, the state of Ohio was cool. Like, we got it done. We had to redo everything. It really stank, but no. So what we did purposely is to avoid Stranger Things from Netflix. We did a drawing of the Demogorgon from Dungeons and Dragons. Smart. And so D&D hasn't done any trademarks or anything on the name Demogorgon. So far so good. We'll see. We plan on redoing this beer every year and try to switch it up. So like next year we'll do apple brandy, bourbon, and then maybe if we can score some like rare barrels, we'll do that. But we'll see how it goes in the next couple years. But so far, so good.
Hey, that's good luck, man. And yeah, I guess I kind of forget that Stranger Things pulls a lot from D&D, and they don't really. Wizards of the Coast hasn't reached out to you. This beer, because they that's who owns Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, right, but do they send cease and desist, or are they not assholes?
I don't know. Do you want to call them?
No, because then they'll probably send me a cease and desist.
It's just from anything in general. Never enjoy our product again, Warren.
Yeah, it's only for people. Well, I guess they're adults well into their late age playing D&D still.
Yeah, I will be one of them. Hopefully, Kim, we haven't heard from you in a long time, which is probably pretty good. So, Mike,
where's my appreciation?
You tell me about this beer. I think that you would do great describing this beer.
I probably wouldn't.
Just talking to your microphone while you don't describe the beer.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty intense. I mean, I don't usually go for anything imperial anyway, because it's too intense of a flavor for me. So I taste like all that bourbon barrel. So it's not my style. So I wouldn't say that I love it, but that's only because this is not something that I typically drink anyway.
So JP was right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. No, I see what you mean. There's a lot going on.
Like, I smelt it before I even, sipped it. So it was basically, it's the same in the nose as it is on my palate. It's a very intense barrel.
And that's fine. That's not necessarily, you're not wrong. You're just incorrect.
I'm entitled to my wrong opinion.
That's right. Yeah. No, to be honest with you, it seems like the inverse, or the upside down, if you will, of the first beer, the All in the Family we had, because All in the Family is a lot of flavor, but the kind of lighter flavors, and it's very complex. But this is the exact opposite of that. It's very complex and has a lot of flavors, but they're a lot darker flavors, and there's a ton of them. It's like you have the entire spectrum of those kind of dark, barrel-aged, darker malt flavors, and they're all kind of linear in my mind. They're all just kind of, nothing really stands out to me more than the other. There's the bourbon up front, and then it's all just kind of, here's the lovely beer. Just you're driving down the road of beer.
Well, I mean, it's not hot. Like some of those boozy beers, you can get really hot. This does not have that.
Right.
This, I know you're just barely over your first year, but this really kind of emphasizes to me the seasonality of beers, because to me this is Midwest winter beer.
Oh yeah,
it's great. Like, big, strong barrel character, also a well-made stout underneath.
Yeah,
compared to the sours that we started with. I mean, yeah, those can be drank year round, but if it's snowing outside, I'd much rather have one of these than one of the sours.
Yeah, and we don't really get winter out here, so
right.
It's hard. Like, it's hard for me to sit down with a beer like this. But today it's fucking freezing outside.
Yeah,
it's like 62 degrees.
No, it's like 55.
No, but that's California winter. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
no, cooler than that.
Yeah, today the low is supposed to be like 48. Which is rare.
No way.
Yeah, way, bro. I checked my Amazon Echo.
Yeah, no, you can't verify it, Kim. Put your phone down.
Yeah, stop doing that. It ruins the game. It ruins the game.
The game of making shit up.
Yes. Welcome to the radio.
If you're right, that's great. If you're
God. You guys aren't playing by the rules. No, I like this beer, Luke. I really do. I think that you have you're good at layering all of these flavors. nothing ever really sticks out. Nothing's ever disjointed and kind of at odd angles in the mouths. It's very smooth and it's very transitional, which is hard to do just in a dark beer, I think, in general. But you do it so well in the light beers, too. This is a good beer, man.
Yeah, we're excited how it's going. It's funny that you guys said bourbon was so strong. I'm not trying to defend myself, but when we got these barrels, we rinsed them really hard because when we got them from the cooperage, the bungs weren't in. So we hit them with hot water a couple times, and then we filled them. So
no, and I guess
they're really good barrels.
Yeah, I didn't mean it as a negative at all. It was surprising to me, especially coming off the last beer. I love bourbon, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It was, but I've never experienced that like this in a bourbon barrel aged beer before. Usually, when I have it, it's like there's bourbon. I don't know how to describe it. It's very clear that there is bourbon in the thing, or that it was a bourbon barrel age. It wasn't rinsed or whatever. But this is like the if you take the aromatics of a bourbon and you kind of take the lighter spectrum of those, and kind of that's what I got out of this. And I think the beer underneath kind of completed, in my mind, that bourbon flavor, obviously along with the barrel and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't over bourbony. It's just the right amount, and it was just that one hit, because now that my mouths are used to it, it's very it's not as intense, but it was just that wow bourbon.
Yeah, no, sure.
But in a very positive way. So I don't want to put you on the defense, man.
Oh no, I'm not over here crying all upset or anything. No, I just wanted to let you guys know, like, we actually rinse these barrels, and actually I'm drinking it with you. I'm like, damn, there actually is a lot of bourbon.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. Ever since we bottled it, it's been conditioning crazily in the bottle. So I don't know how you think about the mouthfeel, but in the very beginning it was really, really thin, like to the point of like it was kind of embarrassing.
Oh man!
And now it's been in the bottle for a while. It's starting to get like a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy how beer's conditioned in the bottle.
I mean, this reminds me of the bourbon reduction that you would put on pecan pie.
Oh.
Because it's really smooth. It's slightly sweet. I mean, you get that flavor pretty intensely, but it's still smooth on the end.
Yeah.
I wonder if the hot flushing maybe helped remove some of a lot of the alcohol left behind, which is why we get a lot of intense bourbon flavor from a relatively young bourbon barrel-aged beer, but not a lot of the alcohol heat, which is one of the first things that, if in an unrinsed barrel, one of the first flavor contributors that you get.
Oh, really?
In a beer.
Yeah.
You think that flushing with hot water, how would that pull the alcohol out?
I mean, it might help volatilize it.
Some is in the barrel.
One, it dilutes it, but then even if it's rinsed hot enough, then that's going to evaporate before the water even does. And so it might just be removing it from the barrel.
Luke is Warren full of shit.
But it picked up 2% alcohol in the barrel, so I mean, it's not like it.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying it removed everything.
Yeah. It's crazy how much it picked up, to be honest with you.
Especially since you're rinsed them.
Yeah, that's why we were so blown away, because we got on for our first test. We went for our first barrel aged beer. I mean, you always see those nightmares of guys doing recalls, and for our first barrel aged beer, we wanted to make sure everything was perfect. So we got bacterial tested, and then we got alkalized. And they're like, this barrel is 13.6, this one's 13.2, this one's 12.1, and then we blended it. It was around those numbers. And when we blended them all together, it came out to this number, and we're like, wow, even after a hot rinse, it still picked up that much alcohol. Yeah. And the only reason I can think that is because we picked them up in like the dead of winter, and it was just freezing out. So I feel like a lot of everyone was like locked up in the wood, and then it came out when it hit the time,
Yeah, it was somewhere. It's there.
Yeah, it's definitely there, man. But in a good way. Did you build the base recipe to match the barrels? Or did you just say, hey, I think this would go well in Heaven Hill barrels?
So, no, because like I was saying earlier, like we just don't like bourbon barrel aged beers. But whenever we would homebrew stouts, we just wanted them the thickest, the chewiest that you could get. really high chloride in your water, massive amounts of flakes in the mash, and it seems like just the chewiest and the biggest you can get it seems to hold up pretty well in a barrel. So we've kept that going with some other early beers that we've been doing since Demogorgon, and they've been holding up pretty nicely in the barrels. Because since then we've gotten pretty lucky to get barrels that are literally emptied maybe a day before, and there's just a puddle of bourbon where you can just pour out like a pint glass of it, basically, and we're just racking straight into them. So we're getting pretty lucky on those. But yeah, I guess the moral of the story is get them as thick as possible so they can hold up to the oak.
Right, or get them when it's freezing outside.
Right, one of the two.
Well, Luke, these are all good beers, man. I haven't had one that I would send back for sure. I think my favorite is that All in the Family.
Awesome, thanks so much. I'm stoked that I could get that out to you guys.
Hey, we're stoked as well, man.
Yeah, thanks for trying twice, or making an effort twice.
Yeah, I do appreciate that too, man.
If this comes up, you don't say no.
Right. Well, and that's like Bev called, and she's like, "Hey, look, we don't have the beers." I'm like, "Well, we can do the interview. We've done it before, but I'm glad that we didn't." It was my idea not to do it, and then no, it wasn't. But I'm glad too because obviously the interview wouldn't be as good or as productive. But the beers are just great, and I wouldn't have had an opportunity to try some of these beers, man. So thank you very much for like Warren said, sending these Johns back out here.
No, it was awesome. Thanks for having me back on, guys.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Hey, how far are you away from Bourbon County? Just out of curiosity.
So the closest distillery that's on the Bourbon Trail is probably 20 miles from me.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Because maybe Warren one day we'll get out there.
I hope so.
And then we'll definitely have to come up for some beers.
And then we'll be 20 miles away from your place.
We'll be 20 miles away. I'm sure there's a lift out there, and
Yeah, it's some guy on a John Deere. He pulls up.
It'll take 4 hours to get there.
You go across the border, it's a whole other world. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, Luke from Streetside Brewery in Ohio. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, at the end of the day, what was my end tally?
Oh, I think it was 7-4, and I think Ohio wins out over you. Right. I think is what it was.
Ohio
7
for you.
For you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and that's okay. But it's out of 5, so if that matters.
No, I was just kidding with you guys. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. It was awesome.
Been fun having you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Cheers. We'll see you.
All right.
Bye. Excuse me. Yeah, man. I like the beers.
Yeah.
And people, always go, "Hey,
I drink them all."
Did you really like the beer? Are you just, No, I really liked the beers. I thought they were all good.
And they were brave starting out doing sours right from the beginning and still only being a year old.
I know, right?
They might have deserved that King of Ohio.
I think so. Well,
award.
We'll never know because Bev lost all the beers. We were just really covering for her. She fucked up. Hey, so like Luke, he's a home brewer too, brewing some beers. And if you want to learn how to craft beer better, if you want to keep track of your beer recipes better, then head over to beersmith.com. It's a 21-day free trial, all that kind of fun stuff. At the end of the 21 days, if you don't like it, which, that means you can't make good beer if you don't like it, then, no harm. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't pay for anything. There's no refund. There's no, weird form to fill out. You just don't do it. You just don't buy the software. But we're sure you're going to love it. Brad at Beersmith works really hard. He has a cool podcast. He's doing a lot of work right now on teaching people how to make recipes and kind of recipe formulation and all that kind of fun stuff. So check it out, beersmith.com. All right, we are going to take our last break. We're going to come back, and I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to play a Twitter game and maybe make fun of Kim a little bit more.
I might have brought a beer that we could maybe try.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll dump it out on your head.
Perfect.
Can't accept.
Yeah, it's the session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients and the best customer service in the business. Check out their brand new patent-pending mash and boil 110-volt electric mashing and boiling unit. This compact all-stainless unit lets you mash, sparge, and boil just about anywhere that has a 110-volt plug. Double-wall construction adds to efficiency and safety, and a precise thermostat keeps temperatures where you want them. Unlike insulated buckets and converted coolers, multiple temperature rest mashing is easy to do, all for under $300. They also feature the Mark II work pump, a magnetic drive high-temperature pump that does the work of pumps that cost twice as much, as well as exclusive Brewer's Edge regulators and quality Keg King kegs and disconnects. Check them out today at williamsbrewing.com to brews their vast selection. With over 20 years of experience making world-class craft beer and more than 100 gold medals in international competitions, Moylan's Brewing Company is not just a pretty face in craft beer. Just ask Brendan Moylan.
What do we got here? The beer of the hour. Moylan's, gotta love that big M. It's like a sign of awesomeness. Woo-hoo! It's got an extra kick to it. Let's pour this bad boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, Moylan's. The end of the night when the kids are finally in bed, the wife's in bed, nobody's bothering your ass anymore. That's Moylan's time. Moylan's is for you. Yeah. It's to help you out. Yeah. It helps me out. What? Well, because it's freaking awesome. Northern California brewed. It's brewed with love. With love? Oh, yeah. Tremendous. And it's always best where? Moylan's. You gotta try it. On tap at Moylan's in Novato. They're friggin' awesome. Not only because I own the brewery, because I love the beer. Cheers! Boom.
Kilt Lifter Scotch Ale takes big beers to a whole new level with rich malt balanced perfectly with delicate hops, and now comes in 4-pack tall boy cans so you can take the party on the go. Or come to the brewery, take a tour, and try any of Moylan's fresh creations right from the source. Check them out at moylans.com.
Hey there, BN Army. Have you heard the latest at Hop Tech? Since Hop Tech has doubled in size after a huge expansion, Jade and Roberto can stock even more of the best quality homebrewing supplies and equipment. Over 60 kick-ass varieties of hops and malts, monster truckloads of quality brewer's yeast, including White Labs, Y-yeast, and multiple dry yeasts. They even have all grain systems from Grainfathers and Ruby Street Brew Systems, thanks to Jade, the brand new all-grain brewer. And don't forget about their 10% discount to all BN Army members. Jade and Roberto are waiting for you and all of your brewing questions over at hoptech.com. Hoptech, totally not sucking since 1983.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamel Zainashev, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Those are some good beers. I really enjoyed them. Hey, guys, if you are in the area on Saturday, December 2nd, from 11:30 to 3:30 at Drake's Brewing Company, they're hosting something called the Hazy Days of Winter at their San Leandro Brewery to celebrate the freshest, haziest beers in the Bay Area. Seems kind of cool. If this is look, the hazy beer is everywhere right now, and if you're into that stuff, I think you should hit them up. It sounds like it's going to be. Check these people up.
I'll be there.
Alvarado Street, Beechwood, Casa. Jesus Christ, I'm from California.
Yeah. Livermore.
Casa. It's Livermore. It's pronounced Livermore.
Oh.
Casa Agria, cellar maker, Green Cheek. Which they had an Oktoberfest, the Green Cheek Oktoberfest at the 4th anniversary at the Rare Bear.
Right.
That was really good.
Yeah, Evan's doing some good stuff.
Yeah, Hen House, Highland Park, Humble Sea. Never heard of them. Modern Times, Moonraker. They're all the rage now. Mraz Brewing, our friend Mike Mraz. Noble, of course, and Temescal.
Wow.
And then they have hazy beers from Drake's, of course, on tap. Something called Get Stupid IPA, Go Dumb Double IPA, Ghost Ride the Wheat IPA. They're very clearly E40 fans at Drake's.
I thought they were just making fun of dumb people for the first two.
Man, you live in the Bay Area. You need to know E40s. You need to know the culture, bruh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fizz Face Wet Hopped IPA, which is not E40, but I forget the guy's name, or else trying to sound cool. Freaky Tales Session IPA, plus some new surprise beers. Additionally, the event will have a Freaks of the Industry section featuring high adjunct, high adjunct and non-trad beers. Including Alvarado Street Naughty by Nectar Imperial. Quote, air quote, they air quoted Imperial Kettle Sour, Casa Agria Frambuesa de la Casa Saison, aged on raspberries, Hen House Winning Team Rice Lager, Highland Park Friendlier American Lager, Modern Times Dragon Mask, which is a pretty rad name for any beer. That's great. And then the OG Overcast Brew 510 Brass Monkey.
That's all one name?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's all one event. That sounds great.
What's the OG Overcast, Mike? Do you know what that is?
I know what that is.
Because it's not like a brewery name.
That's why I was confused about if that was just the beer's name or what.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. Well, Tasty, when you go there, report back.
Report back.
Because sometimes they do like I know for their anniversary, I think last year, or maybe it was a Barrel Fest, or whatever, they did like an alum brew or something. So maybe it's a bunch of like alumnus.
They do stuff, yeah.
Collab from the alumni.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it's a great training ground for sure. The event runs from 11:30 to 3:30. Local DJs, Children of the Funk, Rec League, On Tilt, Monk Benito, and more will be playing in the best old school hip hop and R&B. A limited amount of growlers filled with Drake's hazy beer of your choosing are available for pre-purchase to be picked up at the event. You can get tickets. Where? Okay.
You
go
can
to drakesbrewing.com and check it out. No, because I'm sorry, this is the article that this is what Bev printed out to me.
Right.
And all the fucking links are highlighted, but they're hyperlinks, right?
Yeah.
So I can't click on them because it's analog.
Click here.
So
to get
go
tickets.
to, what is it, drinkdrakes.com?
You can always Google Hazy Days of Winter.
Hazy Days of Winter, everybody. But go to Drink Drakes, and all that information will be up there. I guarantee it. All right, Warren, we have a couple things to do with you, one of which is shave you down.
Oh,
the second is drink your beer.
We're not talking about the beard.
So I brought the beer.
Talking about the lower beer.
But I don't have any glasses to put it in.
Oh. Okay.
All right, well, you're sort of in the beer industry. You probably it's one thing you just haven't caught on to yet.
Right.
Let's just
I make
drink
it.
from it.
I'm new to the serving part of it. Right. Yeah.
Let's just all drink from it.
I just put my mouth on the butterfly valve.
On the dump valve.
Yeah.
Well, before I forget, we do have to talk about the Brew Guru app. If you guys haven't seen the Brew Guru app from the American Homebrewers Association, check it out. Especially if you travel a lot and you want to go around and find the best deals to cash in on your AHA membership. You also get Zymergy articles pushed to your phone. You can read all that stuff when you're in the bathroom or doing whatever it is that you do alone in the house with your phone. We're not here to judge. It's fine. But it's free. That's the best part of it, everybody. So go to your Android device phone store or the Apple device phone store or whatever you got to do. But the Brew Guru app, it's great. It really helps you take advantage of your AHA membership. And, of course, if you're not an AHA member, you should find the highest point and then fall off of it. Because AHA does a lot, man. We wouldn't be here without AHA.
A tremendous amount.
Okay. Let's get to... Warren has glasses. Okay, Warren, what beer is this, man?
From across the room?
Well, why not?
The middle out Vienna.
Middle out Vienna lager. Now, you brought this before, right?
Right.
Okay, is this just a second version of it?
Well, right. So the point of me bringing it again was because last time you didn't like it.
Would you mind helping him out?
So
please?
I said I was going to...
I said I hated it, I think is what my exact words were.
That sounds like something you would say.
Yeah.
The point was that... Yeah, I tightened that. Sorry, Kim.
Jesus. Okay, I got it.
Wow, Kim's a weak hand.
I opened it.
Barely.
I lift, bro.
Yeah, she popped a blood vessel.
Yeah.
I brought it back because a new batch just went on, I believe, about 2 weeks ago. And so this has a few changes and tweaks that some we talked about last time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, to see what you guys think.
And what did we say last time? Do you remember? A refresher?
Lift it and place, because every time you push the glass, we can all hear it.
So I was still toning down the bitterness and dialing in the mineral adjustments to get the beer more balanced between the hops and the malt.
So that's the direction you were going. That's what you're...
Correct, yeah. Just essentially balancing out the beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also... there's just a hint of Carafa 2 Special still in it, and so I didn't want to mess with that until I got the hops and the malt balance right.
See, I'm glad you brought this in, and it's we're following the saga of this beer, which is great because we get guests in all the time that talk about tweaks to the beers and changes to the beers that they want to do, but we don't ever get to try those changes again.
No, brewers,
and then we don't.
Everybody's doing that. If you're a good brewer, you're always tweaking.
You're always tweaking it out, right?
And so this is good. We get to have a series here.
Exactly right of the same beer, and so I appreciate you doing that because we never, you never get the follow up, and this way we can give feedback, and then you can decide which feedback is good and which feedback is bullshit.
Yeah,
just don't ask him for it.
Once I get it where I want it, I just won't ever bring it back again.
That's right. Okay, good. I appreciate it. So, what did you do again? Tell me what you did.
So, we reduced the bitterness amount by basically the theoretical threshold, just by about 4 or 5 IBUs.
Yeah.
And then we also essentially kind of kept the same sulfate to chloride ratio, but reduced the total mineral addition.
Oh, okay.
Lower level.
And still keeping it above 50 ppm of calcium, key yeast nutrient, but just reducing the overall mineral content. And then I believe we might have messed around a little bit with the temperature rests, only by a degree or so at the different rests. We do a 2-step rest.
A degree or
we'll
two?
Find out.
Okay.
Right. And what style is this beer?
This is a Vienna lager. Yeah.
What do you think, Tasty?
I like it.
All right.
Really clean.
Kim, what do you think?
I thought you weren't supposed to ask me questions anymore.
I break my rules from time
Is this
to time.
also a style you don't drink normally?
Actually, no.
We were harassing poor Kim at the break because I'm like, God, I think I put you on the spot. She said, yeah, you did.
Well, I specifically did say this is not something that I drink. I've had like 4 in my lifetime because I don't like them.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
No,
what about
I
Vienna
actually
lager?
really like this, but I've had I've had something Warren did a long time ago, and hate to admit it, but he's actually kind of talented.
Wow.
Well, that'll get you somewhere. You don't have to bring food next time now.
No, I'm bringing key lime pie. I feel like that has to happen.
Yeah. It does have to happen.
And I think that everyone else might actually eat it this time.
This beer has lost the body. I appreciate that in this. What's the ABV?
The ABV is 4.5,
Wow,
so it's a session
that's a lot of
session beer.
No,
it finishes, I believe, around 3.2 Plato. So
sure.
I mean, so 10-13 finishing gravity.
Yeah.
And it's right around I think about 22 IBUs.
It is very crisp. It's a hard crispness that's not. Sometimes we say that and we talk hop bitterness as a crispness, but it's definitely a water crisp.
And before, I felt it was kind of a lingering bitterness.
Yes,
whereas this, it's crisp enough to where it's not a residual kind of malty flavor in your mouth.
I agree.
And also, if you get too crisp, then it can kind of be thin feeling. But this, I don't think is thin. And I feel like the reduced bitterness and the mineral adjustment has got that where I want it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically kind of deciding how I feel about the Carafa 2. And also, if I don't like it, what do I do? Because it's basically what gives it the color.
Yeah.
One idea that we're toying around with, which we really need to decide because we're actually brewing it again on Thursday, is instead of adding the Carafa and milling it, or mashing with it, just throwing it in the lauter tun.
Because you think you're getting too much Carafa 2 flavor, like flavor impact?
It's getting absolutely no Carafa flavor. It's just color, right? So you're getting out of the Carafa. It's color. There's no Carafa flavor, right?
Oh, I think I get a little bit of like a roasted flavor to it.
I'm not getting it. But it's got to be subtle, otherwise it wouldn't be a Vienna lager.
Oh, well, should there be any roasted Carafa 2 flavor in a Vienna lager? I don't know.
Probably not.
Well, and so that's why
But you're operating a brewery.
I'm splitting hairs on this.
You don't have to do the style.
Yeah.
It's just more like something to talk about here.
Yeah.
Well, I think if any brewer has to brew to style, it's Warren. Because of all the shit that we talk on the show.
Otherwise, what am I doing?
I think he has to.
Well, no, that's the reason not to. That way we can't, like, ding you for being too red.
Oh, okay.
That's a good take.
Because the Vienna lagers aren't this red. Which is the point I was going to make, is if you want to make it a little bit lighter in color, then that would be a reason to back on the Carafa.
Well, but
that's pretty red for
according to the BJCP, this barely skirts in on the light side.
What?
Yes, this is 1 SRM within range on the light side.
I always see them as much.
And that's why. Well, and that's why I'm kind of perplexed as what to do, because
most of the
from a
time,
taste perspective, I'd be happy to remove it.
Right.
But then I'm way out of bounds.
So what percent of the grist is Munich malt that would normally give it the red character?
Munich, I use Munich 1 and Munich 2, and I would guess, off the top of my head, probably about 25% combined.
That should be enough, a lot of red color right there.
According to the brewing software, I take the Carafa out, which is only 5.5 pounds in the whole grain bill. It reduces the SRM by almost half. Like that puts this beer down close to 7 SRM if I take out the Carafa 2.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you just throw it in the mash instead of taking or use a dehusked 3 or something like that?
Well, that would be darker.
Yeah, isn't that what you're talking about? You want it because it's just on the lighter side.
Well, but I worry about so if you're saying reduce the pounds but have a darker, I don't want to have a more aggressive roast flavor, like from Carafa 3.
No, because you're talking about pulling it from the mash and putting it on the sparge, right?
Right.
Or did I fill that blank in?
No. That's what I was talking about doing with the same amount of Carafa 2 and just see what mashing versus doing the technique of throwing it in the lauter. See if you still get the same color.
I think you need to add more into the top, into the sparge, in order to get the same impact,
without getting the flavor. Okay. Do you know how much more I need to be adding? Because I have to figure that out tomorrow.
25%? Tasty, what do you think? That's a good number. Kim, what do you think?
What?
Yes.
So I'm adding 5.5 pounds of Carafa 2.
Neither of them were
in the mash.
Of course we aren't.
What would I do? How much would I add to just milled in in the lauter tun
to bump his Carafa to put in a sparge
to get the same color? But because theoretically, when you do that, you don't get the flavor, right?
Yeah, probably 10-15% more would all be needed.
Oh, okay.
But frankly, I would go with more Munich malt to get more Munich flavor in the beer.
You think there's not enough Munich flavor? Okay.
I think you'd use more Munich flavor.
Because I think
in some ways, it's almost like a Modelo. It's just a nice, good, dark lager.
Which is
great.
I think it's lighter than a Modelo, the Negra, because...
Oh, right, yes.
It has some
Negra, color, for sure.
Well, even in mouthfeel. The Negra Modelos are actually kind of a creamier, full, more full. But it's not as crisp. This is crisper than the Negra Modelos.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not saying that's a flaw, but if that's what you're trying to replicate, then
I'm not necessarily going for Negro Modelo because that's even a lot more dark brown than this.
It's browner and it's sweeter, and it's not, but it's
kind of like a light Schwartz beer almost.
Just thinking about the malt characters, it's pretty much like a base malt, and you have color. I'm just saying it's a more Munich character, so would make it more Vienna-like.
Okay.
Again, Maybe that's not what you're trying to pair it with. It's some item on your food menu.
Yeah. But this is about half Vienna malt, and then there's the 25% Munich, and then I actually have maybe 15 to 20% Pilsner malt that I was kind of just
as it warms up,
reducing the Vienna character.
That's coming out a little more too.
Which
the Munich malt. I think that taste he's talking about. Because it was pretty butt ass cold.
Yeah, and so that's what both Brogan and I really enjoy the malt flavor. We're just kind of torn on
what's a Brogan.
That's Brogan's the brewer that actually makes the beer.
Oh, okay, great.
At Loma.
What do you do?
I stand around.
Get yelled at?
I stand around and remind her what to do.
He's married.
Yeah.
Oh,
a few times. A few times a week, I remind her what needs to be done.
And that's
Otherwise, she does it all.
Well, that's pretty good. Dude.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a Brogan.
Yeah, I've taught her well. I mean, she made this.
I like it. I think the changes that I probably gave you were very evident in this beer, in this product.
So you like this one more than what you remember?
I do.
Okay. What would you change about this one?
I think it's too crisp. I think it's too there's too much of a mineral thing at the edge.
What should be there instead? Or
malt.
What? You want it to be more malty?
Yeah, I think so. Because for me, okay, and this is I'm trying to explain to you what I taste, which is always hard for me because I'm stupid. But it's like
we're on beer radio.
Yeah, right. This is what I do for a living. It's you get all the beer flavors, and then right at the apex, it just flattens out with mineral, water mineralness, right? And then everything kind of fades away from that.
Okay, in the finish,
right? So what I'm left with is more of the minerality now than I am with the kind of beer. The malty. There's some bitterness there, which is fine, totally fine. But there's the maltiness kind of fades away, and I don't know if that's maybe what Tasty's telling you too about the Munich or not. But
sure.
If you can beef that up a little bit, I don't know how.
Well, I mean, it might be removing the Pilsner and using all Vienna and Munich malt or something as
brew it
as
yourself
the base.
and not Brogan.
Huh?
Wow.
Brew
it yourself. Yeah.
Kim.
And she just broke her mic.
Punches.
She just dropped her mic.
Wow.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
A literal mic drop.
Yeah. Huh. Jeez. She wants you to take a job from a woman.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll tell her what you said. We'll see.
But I mean, I think it's good. I think pulling the bitterness out, I think did a lot for it.
It's a really good beer. I mean, I can drink this all night. In fact, I poured a couple of them. It's just style issues is all I.
Well, right, and so that's what I'm trying to balance out because I don't want
I feel
it to
good
be
because he asked specifically, right? So I feel good about it.
What?
Giving you all this feedback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Be honest. Don't pull punches.
I'm glad you brought this in. Thank you.
Yeah. Better than my shitty homebrew.
So less Pilsner.
Sure.
More character malt. All right.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go with that.
And if sales go down, I'm blaming you guys.
Blame Kim, really, more than anything.
Because this is one of our top sellers.
Look at her. She can't even put a microphone through a thing.
Yeah,
what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Just hold it. Just hold it like a karaoke
defense,
singer.
I bet Brogan could fix that microphone.
There you go. We're now interviewing Kim's collarbone, and because the mic is just all wonked out. Okay, Warren. Well, good job. I think you did great.
Yeah. Thanks for
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's do a Twitter game, and then we can. Then we can do our favorite live read. Kim, do you want to do a live read?
I can't even get my mic to work.
Just hold it.
Just hold it by the shaft.
Like a human being. You're actually born with 2 microphone holders on the end of your arms.
I thought those were for double fisting alcohol.
They're for a lot of things. They're for double fisting a lot of things, but they could be for double fisting microphones. So, would you like to do a live read? No? Wow, she is no fun. Can we get Kim, who is fun for once?
It's great that you come in once a month.
Why is there
Kim.
no bottles of Patron around here?
We had a key lime beer.
I'm at my best when I'm on tequila.
Yeah, I said fun, not train wreck, Kim. We've seen train wreck, Kim. I have a photo.
She did a live read.
Yeah, that's true. I have a photo of train wreck Kim passed out in the RV driving home from Mammoth.
That wasn't passed
With
out.
4 Locos taped to her hands.
No, that
Favorite time.
that was not a nap. A nap is I'm going to lay down and recline. A pass out is suddenly the thud from your forehead hits the table and then you don't move.
Were your shoes on?
I don't think anything was really on so much as draped on her.
Around her?
Yeah, she was trash. Anyway,
It was the elevation.
bring that Kim back, because that Kim would do this live read.
She would.
What was the Twitter game again?
The Twitter game was, since pumpkin beer is a thing of the past, what is the next holiday beer?
Okay, and I do want to fight you guys a little bit. I see pumpkin beer in the store all the time. I don't see it on tap.
Yeah, that's what I don't buy.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But on tap is what I go.
Yeah, no, I go to the store because that's what I have, because we have no good beer bars in East County. And
we have good ones over here.
Well, but your beer selection in East County is also a little off of what's normal.
I went to fucking Safeway the other day, and I was like, the beer guys are restocking the Johns or whatever, and I'm like looking, and they're like, "Hey, can we help you find anything?" And I'm like, first of all,
you have no idea
don't
who
know
you're talking to.
Yeah, right. Can I
help you?
By the sheer fact that I have nothing in my cart from this section means that I'm a picky fucking asshole who has nothing better to do than hate on everything that everybody else likes.
Or someone new.
No, you can't help me. But I go, actually looking for Celebration. He goes, oh, we're actually sold out. And I'm like, I thought he just... I looked at him the way I would look at someone who kicked Taryn in the stomach. Like, what the fuck? And he goes, yeah, we're actually... The whole warehouse is sold out. And I'm like, whoa, okay. And the guy's like, but Torpedo would be my next best choice. It's the best IPA bang for your buck, is what he told me. And I go, yeah, no, thank you, though, but no. And I just walked away, went to Rayleigh's down the street, tons of fucking Celebration. So
Well, their warehouse wasn't out.
No, their warehouse wasn't out, too.
Yeah.
I imagine it's the same distributor. I don't know. Torpedo. No. Celebration. Get out of my face.
The chains get deliveries to their warehouse. And then they
Right.
put it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to take over the Twitter game.
No, that's cool.
What's the next seasonal trend in beer?
Yeah.
And would we like it?
So some people actually went with other holidays too. I guess because
shit.
I said holiday beer.
Yeah, you weren't specific. What other holiday beers are there besides pumpkin beer and Celebration?
Well, the first tweet goes with a different holiday, actually.
Oh, shit. We're about to find out. All right, go for it, Warren.
Colorado JBS says, for Bevo, I hope hot dog flavored beers for the 4th of July.
Ooh.
The purest will be brewed with real hot dog water and not hot dog seasoning.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That is really good, because I was thinking, like, how would you make a hot dog water?
I mean, think about the hot dog water you've thrown away. I mean, that's just valuable.
Oh, wasted. Might as well brew with it.
It smells like Vienna malt or something. That's gross. I like it.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, I wouldn't drink it, but I like the sentiment.
Would you have Brogan brew it?
If Bevo would buy all of it, I would brew it. Well,
no.
Yeah, Brogan would brew it, not me.
No, I've had your beer. I'm good.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, all right, boys club.
It's good enough for free, not good enough to pay for.
I'm just kidding.
Jeff says, a really, really bitter and sour blonde. Nothing goes along with the holiday blues like a whole lot of cray-cray.
Okay.
Let's see.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No. This one kind of made me a little queasy.
Hazy IPA.
Yeah, the end. Dead pine needle pale, made kegged with a pint of leftover water from the tree stand.
Ew.
And then in case you needed more, that'll get you in the back of the throat.
Ugh.
Yeah. That doesn't sound great to me.
No.
Let's see. Aaron says, mistletoe porter to help cope with family. I'm not sure if I want a mistletoe beer to cope with my family.
Because it's poisonous.
Mistletoe, a fungus? Yeah.
It's poisonous.
Oh, see, I was thinking kissing under it.
I think that's what most people would immediately think.
Yeah.
I thought he wanted to make out with all of his family.
No, I think he wants to kill all his family.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
you pull up in a
I'm more okay with that.
Van, you all go to the hospital.
Mistletoe.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to spell mistletoe. T-O-W. I know that.
Yep.
I know that for a fact. Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. Our friend Gordon Strong.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
He listens?
Apparently. Well, he tweets, apparently.
He says,
Well, you
hey,
wouldn't know what to tweet if you didn't listen.
I think I've been hacked. Please disregard any messages from me.
Fine, then I won't read his
Somebody
email.
contact Gordon. He's been hacked.
He says, a New England IPA with a lump of coal depth charge.
Okay.
So
right.
it's hazy because there's a lot of charcoal floating in there.
Right, right. Which, by the way, the new like hotness in drinks and like health drinks is activated charcoal.
I just
Have you
heard
seen
about
this?
this. Apparently, it's been around.
Oh, really?
I guess it was new to me.
Yeah, you buy.
Yeah, well, so I have a friend who like sells it or whatever, and he gave me one to try. But I was like, I can't believe that this actually does anything because that's me. I'm like a natural skeptic.
Yes.
I don't know, whatever. So I'm looking it up online. If you take medication, you cannot drink these fucking drinks because they will strip out your medication from your body.
Activated charcoal.
They absorb
just-
toxins.
It pulls.
Sucks it out.
They don't absorb. What's a toxin? It absorbs shit. I don't think it really does anything in your body.
If you want to strip all the minerals and things out of your
Yeah.
body, yeah, sure. Your body also needs those minerals that you're stripping out.
Right.
Instead of drinking your lime juice as a cleanse,
right,
drink activated charcoal. You'll pull everything out.
RO water.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm going to try this, but no, I take medication. I can't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so the site was like, you cannot drink these drinks. You cannot have activated charcoal if you take medication of any kind.
Otherwise,
So just
Wow.
a PSA.
That
from
sounds
Jason.
discriminatory. You can't
NE. IPA
with charcoal.
By the way, you're born with like toxin filters. I want you to know that too. Just like double
of 'em.
fisting hands and microphone stand hands, you're born with two.
Get out.
Yeah. No, I can't. I work here. Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. Lloyd says Brews Cruise Season Peanut Nutters Porter. Very popular that somehow nobody admits they like it.
That's true.
I've never been unashamed about my love of Nutters.
Or Porter.
Yeah, Porter's not bad either.
Bruce Cruz.
Or Bruce Cruz. This one's for you, JP.
Okay.
Travis says, Juice for Jesus. JP, insert funny Jewish joke here.
Oh, God. I
So,
can't
put you on the
even.
spot.
Wow. Yeah. Funny Jewish joke. Well, I don't know. They control the media, so they won't let me.
Well, good thing Chris tweeted in because he's got you beat with that. He says it will be a hazy Hanukkah IPA, brewed to be invasive, overbearing, and controlling, like Moscow's mother.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Buddy here's laughing.
Is Allburn a Jewish name?
I don't know.
It was good though.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I
Hazy
think.
Hanukkah
Hazy
IPA.
Hanukkah IPA.
They are catching on. It's unfortunate. Let's see. There's another IPA one.
How many more of these are there? Like, where are the funny
I could do
ones?
one more.
All right.
If I'm filtering out the New England
pick the
IPA ones.
funniest one. It could be an IPA. I don't care, but pick the
well,
funniest
this one's
one.
based on Garrett Oliver. I'm assuming Garrett Oliver's comment about how New England IPAs are an Instagram fad.
Yes,
So I really I'm assuming
I should have read that
I might be
article
reading in
today.
between the lines.
Yeah.
But that's one reason this is kind of at the top of my list. Jacob says a cranberry cinnamon kettle sour designed only to be enjoyed through photographs while you scroll through Instagram while you shit on Christmas Day.
Wow, they're kind of a lot.
I was surprised that people seem to actually like this one.
They were pretty dark, too.
They were all. Everyone's pretty angry today. Bev's been in a shitty mood.
Well, 'tis the season.
I kind of came all angry.
I'm not in a bad mood.
No, you're in a shitty mood.
I'm not in a shitty mood either.
Kim's kind of weird and standoffish
Right.
today.
Hates everything.
Yeah. Except her jacket.
And her couch.
And her
My
couch,
aubergine.
apparently.
My jelly bean.
Her purple couch.
Somewhere in her apartment.
It's jelly bean, goddammit.
Somewhere in her apartment, there's a pillow without a cover.
What color's the pillow?
It's her jacket.
Oh, it's her
It's the
jacket.
cover.
Oh,
Thank
got
you.
it.
Well, my heart is with Gordon Strong for just like
Right,
paying attention.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I laughed the most.
Paying
I laughed the most at Scott's mom. So. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
It's
sorry.
the mom one because I feel like that's the one that resonates the most because that's also my mom.
Is she? Are you Jewish?
German,
No,
German,
she's not Jewish.
but she's
Overbearing.
obnoxious. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, she's a hazy.
She's a hazy
IPA.
What would
She's
be
a hazy
the
of a
woman.
mother?
She just got Bitmoji.
Anybody else got anything?
I like the hot dog beer.
Well,
I thought
the
that
hot
was
dog beer,
funny.
that was a good one.
Got my attention as well. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I did like the Gordon Strong beer one as well, but I think the hot dog one. That's my. So okay, let's do this. Let's vote. Hot dog beer.
Can I get a reread on the hot dog?
Yes, Warren, please do it.
Let's go back up to the top. For Bevo, I hope hot dog flavored beers for 4th of July. Purist will brew with real hot dog water, not hot dog seasoning.
Because I think that, for me, that's it, and we'll vote on hot dog beer, Gordon Strong's. Read Gordon Strong's one again, too, please.
Gordon Strong, New England IPA with a lump of cold depth charge.
And then the Scott's Mom one.
Scott's Mom. It will be a hazy Hanukkah IPA, brewed to be invasive, overbearing, and controlling, like Moscow's mother.
And I wonder where he gets this from. Does he get it from... Scott used to talk about his mom.
Did
right?
he?
On the show, yeah.
Huh.
Maybe on the
Oh,
sour beer.
maybe when he's going back and forthing with us on the Sour Hour.
No, I think I was saying, like, when he was on this show, he used to talk about his mom every now and then, or at least bring it up or whatever. But in
I
joke
must have
form,
tuned him
so.
out.
Weird. Teach me how to do it. So I think those are the three that I would vote on.
Yeah.
Hot dog beer, Gordon beer, or hazy
We have
Hanukkah
5
beer.
voters, so we should be able to get to a consensus here.
Yeah.
I like the hot dog beer one because it, in my mind, is the spirit of the question. But the hot dog spices, like that's funny to me.
You're right. Yeah, it had the layers with the pumpkin beer.
Really
Yeah.
But anyway, Bev doesn't care. So Warren, go ahead. Oh, Bev's voting for hot dog.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, I think she's voting with her stomach.
I'm a hot dog guy too now.
Tasty's a hot dog guy. All
Kim?
right. Yeah, you are.
Well, we're already outvoted. Does it matter?
I haven't voted necessarily yet. I just say what I like.
The mom one. Moscow's mom.
The mom one. Warren?
Oh, I'm definitely going with hot dog water if Kim voted for Moscow.
Oh, God.
Okay, well then it's hot dog beer.
Almost
Time for you,
unanimous.
Warren.
Wow. So now only Kim is left standing looking like a total douche.
Oh, look at it. All
Except
of
for
us,
the guy that wrote it.
all of
Yeah,
us
that's
friends
true.
over here liking the same tweet.
And then this is what happens when friends get in the same room and a buddy enters. Speaking of buddies, dude, I had to put my cat down. I had to kill one of my cats last week, everybody.
This is my worst part of social media. People posting pictures of their dead animals.
Yeah, you've talked about this a few times. Yeah,
Now you're
it's
getting
sad,
one
right?
here in this meeting.
I am.
Well, and also he posted pictures of his
I
dead
posted
animals.
pictures of my dead cat. But but three of them.
I never look at animals. See an animal?
Just scroll,
by because you never know.
Can't read the description. Yeah.
Well, three of them were. Did I do it on Facebook? I think it was only Instagram.
I don't know.
No. Well, you seemed like you know.
Yeah, you Facebooked it.
I saw it.
No. But like for a while, Wesley, for like 2 weeks, he had this thing where we had this comforter that would hang over the edge of one of the spare beds in the East Wing. And and he would go and he would just lay underneath it, but he'd only put his head underneath it. So his big fat body was sticking out, and I would just take shots every day and text them to my friends, not my buddies. And so I posted like 3 of those as like pictures of Wesley because it's just his like torso in various stages of like on different days. Anyway, he was a freak, man. He was a weird cat, and but he was like I don't know, he was like my best friend. It's weird working from home and like interacting with your animals basically every fucking day for 8 years or whatever.
More hours per day than you even know.
Right, and more hours per day
They're your
than my
company.
wife.
Yeah.
It was weird, man. But he didn't really eat very much, and he kept drinking like a lot of water, and then he just one day didn't see him, and he just disappeared. And I was like, what the fuck? And you go to pick him up, and he's like, feels like he's lost 10 pounds. Like Wesley was a fat cat, and it feels like he lost like 10 pounds, had no energy. Took him in. They looked at like his eyes, like the little mucus membrane over his eyes or whatever. And she's like, okay, we're going to run some blood tests. Comes back 10 minutes later. Your cat is highly diabetic. Your cat is in distress. Take him to the emergency room in Walnut Creek. 6 hours later, they're like, this cat is going to need to stay here for 3 days just to recover from the diabetes and to get normal.
Yeah.
But we're pretty sure he has a liver issue, and we're pretty positive he has a gallbladder issue.
Right.
So you can't, and I'm like, well, we got to do it,
Right.
man.
Yeah. Fix one, there's still two.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's going to take him 3 days of urgent care hospitalization.
Yeah.
So out the door, it was $1,800, not to mention the $300 at the other vet.
Right.
Plus his quality of life, and they weren't even sure. They had to do a needle aspirator to even do the other tests, and I'm like, no, that's not. I can't. There's no way.
How old was the cat?
10, almost 11. 10, 11.
Sure.
Yeah. So
I imagine he's staring at the biggest, blankest wall right now in the sky.
Are you getting choked up over Wesley?
No, I was joking. I was about to laugh
I'll
I'll
show you a photo.
I was just envisioning him just staring blankly at the wall.
That's what he would do, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was like, dude, I don't want to bring it in too much, but I don't care. That was like one of the harder, because like I've had to put other pets down, but when I was living at my parents' house, right? So I was like 6 or 4 when my first dog had to get put down, and like whatever. I didn't know. I was like, oh, okay. But this was fucking tough. Like I was
devastating.
Like openly weeping, even to go drive out to Walnut Creek to do it. And then the vet was sitting there, and I'm holding the man, and he sort of has some energy, but not. And that's after like 6 or 8 hours on fluids. And they were like, maybe he might get out in 24 hours. And then an hour later, they're like, it's going to take 3 days minimum to get him recovered. And I'm like sobbing. What did I do? Like, I'm like internalizing it because that's what I do because I hate myself. And the vet was in there. She was crying because I was such a fucking mess. Anyway, and then so you can sign up for this service where either they'll cremate the cat, or they'll give you the remains for free. But it's like $90 to cremate it in like a community cremation, and you don't get the ashes, or it's like $200 to get
solo.
Yeah, to get solo, and then it comes in like a little box,
right? Yeah,
and I'm like, oh. We're at this point already. Here's another couple of $100, whatever.
Right? Yeah,
and then
never gone for the ashes, but I have certificates on my refrigerator.
Okay. Yeah. Like certificates of death.
Dogs, cats, yeah.
I was going to ask what the certificates are for.
Yeah.
Say, hey, we cremated.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Pet.
Just to let you know, like to tick the box.
It happened.
But we get this card, and I thought about bringing the box in. By the way, I almost did.
God.
Yeah, it would have been great. It would have been because it would have been cool.
You see Wesley one more time.
Yeah, hey buddy, he's lost a lot of weight. But they
he's
took
not as black as I remember.
I got this card from East Bay Veterinary, by the way. If you're in the Bay Area, they were great people. And these people were so kind. They were really nice. And you open the thing, and they had taken a fucking paw print of my cat. And in ink, they inked it, and then and then they put it on a little square piece of paper, and they put it in the fucking card. And the vet wrote this like giant like, "Hey, you guys were awesome. I'm really sorry about your nice man." Like she was
from the actual vet,
from the actual doctor who actually put him down.
Yeah.
And like she was using the nicknames I was giving him because you know me, I have 12 nicknames for that guy, and it was great. I was like, wow. And then I get the box, and the box had like laser etched the paw print on the thing. And I was like,
that's cool.
This is really cool.
That is cool.
I was kind of surprised that you didn't get him embalmed.
I really wanted to. I was so devastated. I couldn't even. I couldn't. And at that point of his like illness or whatever, he was hurt. He looked haggard.
Well, right,
man.
yeah. You need to get him done up like.
I thought about sending him to Blobber.
Style?
Yeah,
because Blobber does. Blobber does taxidermy.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but I couldn't.
Then you could just have him staring at a wall in your house all the time.
Yeah. God, it hurt. Oh.
Yeah.
I can't imagine when like a family member dies, dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they'll be nice enough to cremate them with a handprint.
Here you go.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Kim, have you thought more about doing this live read for me?
You might get an appreciation minute after it.
Yeah.
You don't need your stinking appreciation.
Should we do Kim's Appreciation Minute?
She's kind of earned it, this show.
All right, you want to start?
Should I step out?
Well, Tasty's already ready. Oh, no, the
Are you
point
crying?
of the minute is to
Why is Bev crying?
sit through it.
I'm crying, too.
It's
You're
too
putting the animal
soon.
story... No, I'm
For Kim's Appreciation Minute?
Tasty and Bev are crying right now.
Wow.
That makes me happy that Wesley was missed by people who didn't know him very much.
I'm processing a lot of death.
That's true. Your dad just ate it,
Yeah.
didn't he? See, Tasty, look at that cat. Look at that cat.
No,
look at
it's a
him.
lovely
It's
cat.
just his butt sticking out of a
Yeah,
sheet.
right, yeah.
Yeah. And see, that's really nice. He's a nice man.
That could have been a Thursday or a Sunday.
Who knows? Yeah. So your mom passed away recently, and then your dad passed away. Look, that's a different day.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Oh, all right. I thought you wanted to. All right.
No, we don't need more.
All right. Well, hey, man, I'm sorry, Bev. All right. Okay.
She's not going to do a live read, I guess.
I know she's not going to do the live read. That's terrible.
Well, you know what I don't appreciate about Kim?
Let me do this live read, and then we'll just leave.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I just brought everybody down right
Yeah,
now.
on that note, have a good week, everybody.
Everyone's despondent.
Yeah, make it long
That's
so
too
I can get
bad.
my buzz back.
Well, speaking of making it long, Tasty,
And rigid.
I'm gonna bring this whole thing right back up. This is gonna be amazing. Okay.
Oh, just like Viagra.
I'm gonna shower you
It's your
all
job now.
with the warm blanket of words.
The warm golden glow.
Adam and Eve is determined to help you spice things up in the bedroom, everybody. Go to adamandeve.com and you'll get 50% off almost any item. Probably earned, too. When you enter offer code BNARMY at checkout, you know what you could do? You can get like a dildo and like hollow it out, and then you can use that as an urn.
Oh, yeah.
Put that on the mantle. Yeah.
And Wesley will always be with you?
Sure,
Inside
yes.
you? Around you?
BN Army at checkout, we all know that for sure, but back for a limited time only, you'll get the free Big O kit. Adam and Eve's Big O kit includes their exclusive Climax gel. Are you sad you're not reading this now, Kim?
Devastated. Just like the story you left us at.
Oh, God. And a mini vibrator. You'll also get your entire order sent to you for free. So hurry up. Take advantage of this limited time offer. You get an adult toy, a movie, anything else. When you choose that item at 50% off, anything. Free shipping, Big O kit, Climax gel, mini vibe, nowhere else. BN Army at checkout. That's BNARMY. And then we're out of here. I think, right? All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for sticking with us.
Thanks for Streetside Brewery.
Yes, thank you very much, Luke, for calling in. Sorry, Bev, I brought you down. I didn't mean to.
I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, at least there's good beer in Ohio.
Yeah, I feel like I need to get buzzed again.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then, hey, you know what? Maybe stay tuned on social media. Warren and I's new show.
Oh, yeah, what's that called?
It's called Heads and Tails. We're doing a show about spirits. And speaking of spirits, and anyway, we'll do a live show. We'll let you know. We'll make Kim let you know, and she'll yell at us again. It'll be
Last
fun.
minute.
It might be next week, Kim.
It might be next week. We
Maybe
don't know
Friday.
yet.
90 seconds before they go
Maybe.
on air.
Yeah.
Hey, can you do this thing?
It's actually more like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll see you later.
JP's an asshole. Justin's a nice guy and winning the race. JP does